episode, spoilers. In the episode, Nick goes to get the his eye patch, like it's like his costume. I'm like, does the eye patch do anything? How do you do that?
If it does something now, not done anything before, it was mainly just the clearance reveal.
I'll say this. I know Nick Fury was giving a lot of poop, like his character wise throughout the series, right? But
Yeah.
we never seen him with an eye patch throughout the series until now. So I'm like, okay, that's gonna be like an extra 10 plus the coolness factor. You'll start seeing Nick Fury again treated with respect from here on out. I'm
Maybe.
hoping.
No. Apparently, in the Marvels, he's the dude we always know, and he just this one. They're like, let's show him like the underbelly of Nick Fury, who he really is on other shit, and they went the wrong route with it.
Yeah, because I don't think I didn't get anything out of this. I feel like all I learned was that Nick Fury was a fraud. That's all I learned from this. But they do that every time they go into Nick Fury's backstory. So good thing we're not doing that anymore.
I don't understand how what they thought of, like Nick Fury making a spy system for this fine. Having it be Skrulls who already like the biggest cheat you can with the spy stuff. That makes it that makes it bad.
Yeah, and then to say that the Skrull's the only reason you got into the pilot seat, not your own merits, makes me question anything you do.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I really want them to bring a Winter Soldier, because now I want the scene where like Hydra's trying to take over that room and Agent 13's in there. And he's pointing at people. I like to think half of them like Skrulls. Like, what's happening?
Well,
because like if they're just gods and spices, and even they didn't see this coming. I just think everyone's like flabbergasted. It's the funniest thing.
I want some of the Skrulls to actually just like be with Hydra, like they knew what was going on the whole time, but they just really wanted to join Hydra. They're like, yeah, these guys make a good pitch.
There is definitely a break on like the beginning of in the first episode, in that scene with the FBI guy from Black Panther, I don't remember his name, Ross.
Yeah,
they revealed some of the stuff since the 5-year gap started. So like some of the stuff that that the enemies in Falcon Winter Soldier said that they did, the Skrulls actually did that.
Yeah, I wish I would go in depth. Like how? Like what did they do? Did they like
It was a cousin, because he was like, "Oh no," but they said, I was like, "Yeah, but this is a show. Don't keep telling us. So you tell me anything.
Yeah,
it doesn't look that much urgency if you show me that it's happened."
Right.
Because you could have fixed a lot of this. You said, "Oh, a lot of these takeover plots are really just like the thing that you said, Jake." But like the Skrulls were actually trying to help these people do that. It would just make it easier for them to take over the planet.
Yeah.
If Hydra takes out Shield now, then all we gotta do is take out Hydra instead of taking out them both.
Yeah. And even if Hydra loses here,
if Hydra gun, it's so easy to take care of this. They just take care of them down. It's over.
Yeah. It would have been kind of the ultimate spy plot, and then we could have just made even Black Widow more relevant to the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's the Thunderbolts apparently doing. I don't want that.
All right. Well, we have to get started.
Okay. Well, all starters off. Welcome to Comic Fanatic 2.0. You're here with me, Cryptid Zeker, spreading the peace one taste at a time.
I'm Jake Talonov, the Black Fang, the warrior of the sky who walked the path of cold steel. And that's my intro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Austin, Ace Comics. I really don't like Jake Talonov right now. I really don't. We have Richter, which is Jotunheim, which will be back soon.
Yeah, he's had quite an adventure this past weekend.
Which is actually here right now, Beyond the Grave. Wait,
hold on. Just give me a quick moment. I'm still on the call. I'm just finishing up the transfer.
Well,
okay.
You introduce yourself so we can move.
Yeah. Hold on. Lucy, shut up. Hold on. I gotta activate my eSIM, Lucy. Calm down.
So this is which Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns he, him.
He, they.
He, they, my bad. He, they. Best there is at what he does, and what he does ain't nothing nice.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
Good.
All
shush.
All
I
right.
didn't even. Shush.
All right. Let's
You
just
watched
go.
12 hours in platform booth? Yeah, I know. I don't want to hear about it. Thanks, Dad.
I don't want I will film
Oh.
myself doing
All right. Let's
Sorry,
kill
I
some
had
time.
to do important things like change my freaking eSIM card to another freaking thing.
Mhm.
Thanks, Ryan Reynolds, for Mint Mobile, by the way. This is not sponsored.
All right. Well, while Witch settles
I'll-
up his stuff, we'll start with the first topic.
I'll go first.
Netflix. Go ahead, Austin.
Netflix cancels its Master the Universe movie. I am pissed off. Kinda.
He's like,
Wow. Okay.
I'm
First
not
off,
mad because they canceled it. Cryptid. I'm not mad because it's canceled. I'm more mad that we don't hear anything about it before it got canceled. Because I kind of want to know what they plan to do. Because now we would have had what 3 different versions of He-Man like the last 5 years.
Oh wow, that's true. Actually,
So I really want to know how they were going to do He-Man and this stuff. At least like some details. But we didn't get anything for this before it got canceled. And it's been talked about for what 5 years. I think this was talked about before the animated show came out.
I mean, I know a lot of people have their thoughts and opinions in this situation, but honestly, you guys gotta recall we're still in the midst of a strike going on. So any future projects or projects you've heard of that are happening that have been announced like yesterday or whatever, yeah, don't be surprised if things get halted or canceled for the time being. You know, and this is just what I
Yeah,
see with this news.
but this was like
Uh,
5 years ago.
oh,
This was
well,
announced back when like the Jamie Foxx Spawn and all that was first announced. This was like before
oh,
Venom.
I didn't know it went back that far. I mean, did they
Yeah,
have
this was like
actors in the
before
movie?
like, the animated trailer, or the 3D one, like all that stuff.
I mean, did they have like any casting in already locked
I
down
believe,
or
I believe so. Let me check.
gotcha?
But
Because
I really
I'm
want to
not
see some details of this because this could have been. I just wanted to hear about it, good or bad. It's like the CW Powerpuff Girls for me. Like hearing about it and saying, I'm gonna watch it just if it's bad or not. I just want to see what happens.
I mean, He-Man right now, like as within the past couple of years, you know, it's on shaky grounds. I mean, I don't know how many people know about this, but you guys remember that CGI He-Man? You know, the one where he had a massive
Yep,
up proportional. Yeah, that got ghost
yep.
canceled.
They go,
It's done. Ghost King. Yeah, it's
dude,
done.
that's terrible.
Yeah, it's not getting a season 3.
oh,
Um, but even though that had good, that had good receptions, I don't think enough people were watching that. You know,
I
and
could,
then
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
I just, I liked what I saw, but every time I looked at He-Man, I didn't want to look at it anymore. So they,
There was something new, I'll say. Part of me likes to think if all the controversy that happened of Kevin Smith's He-Man didn't happen, and they just put all their marbles on this version of He-Man, the CGI one, it could have lasted a couple seasons. Maybe even giving us just one third season to clear up everything.
I'm gonna go with the designs because I think I could be wrong, and if I am, correct me in the comments. But I think this is the same studio that did the Fast and Furious Spy Racers Netflix show that went on for surprisingly long. So there was an audience for these type of animations. I think it was design. It might have been the
But we
designs.
don't, but we don't have a
I
strike
don't think it
going
was
on
the
at that
design
time.
specifically. I think it was location because this wasn't Netflix, right? It was somewhere else.
It was on Netflix, wasn't it?
You know what?
Not the Kevin Smith one was. I don't think
Yeah,
the
and
And
other one
so
so
was.
was and so
yeah,
was the CGI one.
yeah, they're both on Netflix.
Maybe I did not watch no Netflix. That explains a lot.
But he
Yeah,
watched it on a legal site. He watched it legally. We
people
swear.
keep in mind, people were just so burned out by what happened with Kevin Smith's He-Man that not a lot of them didn't go onto the animated one,
Yeah.
which was so sad because it was actually getting a lot of good reviews.
Yeah. But you know,
The only cast for this He-Man movie I can find is Kyle Allen would have been Prince Adam, aka He-Man.
I don't know who Kyle Allen is. Was he in
I don't know
anything?
who to see him either. His picture is black and white, so I don't know to tell you.
Okay.
David
Oh,
Gore would have been the screenplay. I know that guy's name. I don't know anyone else connected to this, so I'm gonna let this slide, I guess.
gotcha.
So yeah, so
Oh,
this probably most likely didn't get that far in development at all. It was just sitting in the wasteland for 5 years.
pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, guys. I mean, not much juice to get out of this topic, unless you guys have any final thoughts.
uh,
Netflix
Make
always can
He-Man great
pull
again.
good shows.
we do not have the power.
Make
Yeah.
He-Man great again. Let's get an animated He-Man versus Thundercats movie.
That'll be
Ooh,
interesting. 80s rebound.
yay.
If Transformers and G.I. Joe confused into one thing, let's do it with Thundercats and He-Man.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
That's
Let's
it.
move on to the next topic. Which you free now?
What I got
Okay.
this one.
Yeah,
Go
it is Jake
ahead.
after this.
Yeah. So Mortal Kombat news. When I edit
And
this,
this,
it's gonna sound way more epic. Don't worry about
oh, let me do it.
it. There you go.
Okay.
Uh,
Quite a load in this one. So let's start.
I don't. Okay, well,
You
I mean,
do the
I can
case,
in
man. I'll do
general.
the
Yeah, I can do the game stuff. So basically, we have some game
lesson.
news. That's what I heard, so that's what I'm going with. So, so we have some game news. There's the new Reiko has been introduced. Reiko from the 3D era. I'm not gonna pretend like I know much about this character. I just know he's from the 3D era of Mortal Kombat games. We got some.
Another thing to know is that he and Melina have romantic history. So
Yeah. We also have what was her name? Tanya came in and Lee May, I believe.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tanya was Melina's potentially bisexual partner in 10, and she got killed off screen,
Mm,
from my understanding.
mm,
Lee
like
May is a character that's been in multiple Mortal Kombat games. Her last appearance also in number 10. She was in the Jack Briggs part of the story. She helped them find Quan Chi.
my I just don't like Tanya's face model. I don't know what it is. Her face is not working for me. I don't not look
Because they
great.
changed everything about her.
Right. So I think it's to make her look more like African. I think, for lack of a better term, but I think the face model doesn't
Which
do her
is
justice.
fine. They keep trying to force Udanians into more realistic world situations.
Yeah.
Because it's different when you're like, oh yeah, this is Earth realm, so these people do this and that. But Dania's not a part of this.
Yeah.
They should not. You don't have to do that.
Personally speaking, like a Mortal Kombat X to me had the best designs.
Yeah. We also have the confirmation that this game will feature the rise of Shao Kahn, now General Shao Kahn. So
Yeah.
and I don't know if this is confirmed before, but Shang Tsung will have something to do with the plot from what I've been hearing in rumors. So, you know.
It seems he's going to be more a post credit type thing or
Mm.
aftermath type thing.
Mm.
And that's why he's the pre order bonus. But the pre order bonus is usually never that important to the post game stuff.
Right.
Like how Shao Kahn was in the last game.
Melina, we already know her story in this. She's actually the biological sister of Kitana. But she is suffering from Tarkatan disease, which is making her teeth look like Baraka.
I
Oh, wait.
didn't know that was a disease. What?
Yeah,
Well, it is
no. It's always called disease. Her mouth looks nothing like Barack.
yes, it looks like an elite from a Healy from Halo. So
That Predator, Alien, Godzilla, Shin Godzilla. I don't know what's going on here.
speaking of Baraka, Baraka was also in one of the trailers. as well. So we got confirmation that he's leading people
He
who have
is
been trained.
him.
Yes, and he is leading people like him. We also had some leaks.
Which is
Or
he does all the time. Like,
yes, but now they're actually like his people. Like he's not a
Oh,
part of.
they've been his people for a while. I've been his people for a while.
Oh, okay. Well,
and
he's there.
it's
He's there.
all. I always kind
Yeah.
of find it with Baraka's
Realistically, they've been his
situation.
people. X.
Yeah.
Like I always find it funny with Baraka's situation because he's always the leader of his people, but he's always placed like second or third command to someone else. You know.
Yeah.
Like, like,
But and then yeah, so we have him in the game, and now the Tarkans on the rise. It seems like there's going to be a lot in this plot because we also have Scorpion, who is Kuai Liang, which we pretty much the fan base already knew, but this is the confirmation and some leaks we actually know
Which
now.
is the second and most well-known Sub-Zero.
Yes, for people who don't know.
Behind is the first Sub-Zero. He's the main Sub-Zero this game. He is the one that
and
Scorpion killed.
and people are theorizing because of the backstory of Smoke and his biography that he is actually Hanzo Hasashi of this timeline. So,
oh,
so who is Scorpion in the original?
I think that's the worst change so far.
Okay,
Because it isn't just like replacing. Because it's weird that they're just replacing characters and monikers. But
yeah.
Smoke's already been disrespected, taking out the games for a while. I don't like the idea that his first return is a whole different person.
It's getting a little confusing, I gotta say.
It seems like his origin is that his people were wrongly killed by the Ling Kuei, and the headmaster of Ling Kuei, who was Sub-Zero's father. He's like, you know what? That was on us. We're sorry. We're gonna adopt this child. We're gonna train him. We didn't mean to kill your family like that. That's messed up. So come with us. So it seems
I
like
have to listen when we go through.
Smoke harbors no ill will. Now, what I did find interesting is, from what I remember from the biography, he doesn't actually have powers. A lot of his stuff is like tricks he learned, but then he can fly. Yeah, so he can fly as well. There was actually a funny cutscene where you see Scorpion Sub-Zero climb the walls, and then you just see Smoke just casually fly behind. So pretty funny looking. It seems like he may be more leaning towards Scorpion side than Sub-Zero side because they're at odds again. Because we saw a bit of beat and some leaks. He's immediately like, we gotta take over. We gotta do more than just.
If you don't think about behind even his old history before they kind of retconned him, he's always been the more no nonsense. This is the way it got to be when he's come to making decisions. Yeah. Which is why Scorpion was like, "You killed my family." He didn't go to him and be like, "I didn't do that." Him more like, "You just come back in." I'm sure I did it for a reason. So.
Yeah. But yeah, we got a lot of information. And then we also have rumors. This is just fan theories, not anything that's been coming out. Because we saw in one of the trailers that the army of Onaga from Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance and therefore Deception is also in this game. So there are rumors. Yeah, there's rumors that Onaga might be the end game boss, and I'm like, this is a lot in one plot of a fighting game.
Explain who Onaga is.
Oh, Onaga, the Dragon King, one of the strongest villains in Mortal Kombat. He ranks above Shao Kahn.
He was the emperor before Shao Kahn.
Yeah, the one that Shao Kahn fears, the only one that makes him nervous at night. In Mortal Kombat Deception, a character by the name of Shunjinko was royally trolled by him into releasing him. And so by combining it took all the combined powers of the Mortal Kombat fighters from both the darkness and the light to team up, put their powers in Shunjinko for Shunjinko to kill him, to beat him. I wouldn't say kill him. He didn't really kill him.
The guy who, if you combine all the rounds, he wakes up?
No, that is the one being.
Did that guy have a name?
No, it was the one being.
I always thought of Onaga, I guess. So we're going to let that slide, I guess. And
Onaga wants to be the one being, but he is not the one being.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
The playable characters for right now are Johnny Cage, Kenshi, Katana, Kung Lao, uh, Liu Kang, Melina, Raiden, Rain, Scorpion, Shang Tsung through Pre-Order, Smoke, Sub-Zero, Lai Mei, Tanya, Baraka. And if you go into the DLC the cameo fighters, which are the Sith fighters, we'll do them first.
Still shocked that we're
Cyrax,
getting another movie.
But we'll get to that in a minute.
Frost, Jax, Kano, Kung Lao, Sector, Scorpions, Sonya, Striker, Sub-Zero, Darius. There are like a whole lot of returns in this game, which is very surprising.
Yeah.
But now we get into which is the Comeback Pack 1, which we have covered this in the episode. I believe that it's in the episode that has went up on the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
The first DLC, Ermac, who looks very different.
Yep.
Homelander, Peacemaker, who someone here is super excited for. Omni-Man, Quan Chi, who I don't think anybody wanted, to be honest.
No.
And Cicada, who people wanted in the last game.
Yeah. So, yeah, and so this, I don't know why this specific group of people. I understood when Omni-Man and Homelander was there, but then you started getting into Quan Chi. I'm like, okay, well, like,
At least like Ermac is popular. I like
Yeah.
no one wants Quan Chi.
I got a question. Was that Takeda at the far right side of that roster list?
Yep, him and Ermac have the biggest design changes in this trailer.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I couldn't even tell that was Ermac. I was like thinking maybe the green eyes. Maybe think it was Ermac, but I just need clarification. It's like,
yeah, but this combat pack is pretty cool. Seeing Omni-Man in like a, not live action, but like a 3D realistic setting is kind of weird looking. But you look cool.
Confirmed, voiced by J.K. Simmons, by the way.
Yes.
We stand J.K. Simmons in this house.
And of course, Constantine has to be here for Peacemaker. God.
One last
I
thing
don't know they confirmed that yet. Is that confirmed?
They have to. I mean, come on. If they could get Sylvester Stallone back for a Rambo, they could get John Cena back for Peace.
Hey, man, they couldn't get Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, one last thing I want to confirm too. We're also seeing Liu Kang try to rebuild a lot of relationships that he didn't have, that he used to have. So it seems in the story we're going to get an emphasis on Liu Kang meeting Raiden. There's going to be apparently it's also Liu Kang has to build a relationship with the Edenians for the first time as well. So I do like that aspect as well, that Liu Kang has to just basically try to get relationships that he used to have back. I think that's for him.
My question is, for most of this, why is he only doing it now?
I don't. The only reason I'm confused about it is
people don't know about Datus. They live for thousands of years. He really could have did this like 100 years ago and already had this ready. It's weird that he's reaching out now. It's like, oh, something else is about to attack. I need to go get everyone together now. It's like, you could get over here something done.
Well, 1 second, guys, keep talking.
No.
Okay, while he's doing whatever that is, there's a lot of stuff Liu Kang could have done beforehand, since he's the god of fire. He's the god of fire and lightning, but he also has control of time right now. Yeah. So if they lived 1,000 years, he could have met Katana years ago. He could have met her mom, Sonya, already set up. That's Sonya.
What do you mean by meeting her mom, man?
I mean, I'm assuming the mom is still is still the queen, and the dad is Gerard.
And we're forgetting that whole plot line from the last game where she was evil from the start.
No. Even if you take that into consideration, I feel like if the god himself came to y'all, like, so we need to work together, she will at least fake it, because even if I end up with Shao Kahn, this guy can kill all of us.
If we're going by Liu Kang, how he treats his mission, his plans in Aftermath, he typically does wait till the right time. So I guess in his mind, things needed to progress in a way to where it was appropriate for him to show up, I guess. It could also be maybe he stays secluded because he's trying to avoid the temptation of changing things, I guess. That's just that that's off of nothing.
But you say that he already changed stuff.
he changed stuff in a way to make it. But well, that's the thing. We need to know what he's doing with it before we can really say the reason. But the most
First thing
practical
what he did
reason.
is that he the great Kung Lao, who was the first human to ever win the tournament, the Mortal Kombat tournament.
No.
He made him like his spokesperson. I guess the best way to say it. Like that's his main guy now.
Yeah.
Who doesn't seem to be in this game, by the way, or at least he's not playable because the Kung Lao in the game is our Kung Lao.
Yeah.
From my understanding.
Who doesn't have his hat yet? We saw that.
Yeah.
he threw a hat and it wasn't his hat, so it just kind of bounced off harmlessly. But yeah, but Liu Kang, we know from Aftermath, at least the way he treats time travel, he only shows up when the timing is right. He does not show up before. So I guess if he's showing up late in the game, it's because there's a reason for it. That's the most in character way of saying it.
Yeah, we're gonna say that's how he wrote.
Yeah. Maybe. But
All
yeah.
right. That's it for the Mortal Kombat news. We got a bunch of topics to go through. So, any final thoughts?
If the game looks good.
No. Wait. Did we talk about Cage Match? Because that's what was.
Did you watch the trailer?
It feels like it has a lot of that Harley Quinn sort of humor to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say going off the hype of the last one, I don't trust a full movie following Johnny Cage. So I didn't want to talk about it anyway.
Yeah. So. Now, speaking of Johnny Cage, we can go through this briefly, but it was officially revealed who the casting for the Mortal Kombat sequel, Johnny Cage, will be. What's his name? I know this guy was from The Boys.
From The Boys, Billy Butcher.
It's not the guy it should be. So
it's called Urban. It's not the Miz who been trying to be this man since before Mortal Kombat 1 came out. And literally he's literally just Johnny Cage in WWE. Except he loses.
Yeah. He was practicing relentlessly on his splits. Kept mentioning that.
No, listen.
They didn't even cast him in the video game or the animated film. They just wanted nothing to do with the business.
Now listen, I will give this actor a chance, but I don't know what kind of casting director you'd have to be to just not get the Miz at this point. Like, fans wanted it, Miz wanted it, his booking was probably clear for it. It was regardless of how this actor does it, he could be amazing. I will still think in the back of my head, like, why didn't you just get the Miz? I need someone to tell me why wasn't the Miz? Why didn't you get the Miz?
Urban could do great, but since they picking him, I mean they're doing like a very older. Apparently, they're doing like a very older Johnny Cage, but he's acting like a younger Johnny Cage for some reason.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring up. Like,
it doesn't really make sense.
Like, the guy's not. The actor's not a young guy. So.
You have like a 28-year-old Sonya and like a 40-some-year-old Johnny Cage.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No Cassie. Oh no.
Yeah, so it's like you should just pick the Johnny or looked around her age at the very least. Or if you're gonna do an older one, then have him act like older Johnny Cage. We don't want to see a 50-year-old man child. That's ridiculous.
Exactly. And as far as the Miz goes, look, NetherRealms, you guys got Ronda Rousey to voice Sonya Blade for better or for worse for a whole game story, right? Throw the Miz a bone and have him voice Johnny Cage. I will give him something, for an upcoming game.
No, we're not allowed to give him anything.
Give him a skin for him. That would be amazing. Give him a Miz skin. Or that would be great.
His intro could be like, without any describing anything, he could just be on the phone. It's like, what do you mean I didn't get the role? And then he's like, goes back to fight. Be like,
I really want I'm Johnny Cage and I'm awesome.
All right. But yeah, those are our thoughts on Mortal Kombat, guys. Hope you enjoyed. But we should really be moving on to the next topics.
Probably ideal.
Yep. Which I heard you've been doing a little something over the weekend. Care to explain to the audience?
Yeah, I was doing some things. I was totally not at San Diego Comic-Con this year. Ooh.
Why weren't you?
Well, I knew Nick was a liar.
And you didn't invite any of us, Which? Come
Hey,
on.
when the tickets drop, I'll hit you guys up, and you guys better give me money for tickets, bitch.
I'm confused. I'm confuzzled. Did you or did you not go to Comic-Con?
I did.
Oh my god.
Jake, you with us. Would you
And
like
he
this?
didn't bring.
Yeah, I
and
only
he
went
didn't
Friday
bring
and
us.
Saturday, so
And he didn't bring us a souvenir. Hear
I
that,
did
audience?
bring you a souvenir. I'll have the editor post pictures later.
Yeah. Good luck, editor.
By the way.
But yeah, I only went Friday, Saturday. Sorry guys, I didn't go to preview night Thursday or Sunday. I had things to do.
It's fine. Nothing really
Okay.
came out that was good.
Plus, it was
Yeah.
gonna be expensive. But no, I had a lot of fun. I even, for all my Monster High fans out there, I got to finally purchase my first Collector doll, which was this Freak du Chic Draculaura, and she looks phenomenal. She looks even better in person, and I mean that. Oh my goodness. And also on that Saturday, if you've seen me around, I was wearing white platform boots, by the way. I was wearing those for about 12 hours. It was so worth it. Because I got so many compliments from it, even from the Marvel people at their booth. You know, at least they showed up, unlike Alex Ross. You know who you are. Like, why are you going to spend all this money on a booth? At least Todd McFarlane showed up at his booth, but it was still fun. I got to meet Scott Lobdell again. I got to meet Teenie Howard for the first time. I got to meet some other really cool people. I made some friends. You know, I got to see old friends. You know, shout out to my beasties, Nicole and Claw. Shout out to y'all's. Funny enough, a lot of people knew me as North Star more than they did as Jackson Jekyll, which is very funny because I posted pictures of both of those cosplays. Guess which one got more likes? And it wasn't North Star.
It was mine.
Jake. But no, also I went to the Hellfire Gala that on Saturday night. It was a lot of fun. I got in early because I was one of the first people in line. I know I had to do my thing. I walked from the convention center to the venue. And I'll talk about my complaints later, but other than that, it was actually a lot of fun. 4 people low-key adopted me because I had no friends there because I was probably one of the only few Arizona cosplayers there, so you can only do so much with that. But no, they were like, "Oh yeah, we're from New York. We'll just adopt you for this night. It's all good." And it was it was a lot of fun. There was 3 sections to it. There was the Green Lagoon, which everyone goes through at first, and then there was the ballroom, which you could probably guess what people were doing there. They were partying it up, and then there was Layer X, which had all the food that you can buy. It showed off like 60 plus years of X-Men history, and also gave us a quick sneak peek of X-Men 97, which I already know that I'm excited for. Maybe I should do a binge watch of the X-Men animated series, but I don't honestly. Who knows? But no,
Did
funny
it
enough,
look? Did X-Men 97 look cool? Like, what would you see?
I unfortunately wasn't able to go to that panel that they first showed all the stuff for, which is fine. I'll live. I usually don't go to panels at SDCC. That's more of a smaller con thing for me personally. But from what other people were saying, it's like the art sticks to what it was originally, what was supposed to be, how it was originally, but more modernized it, I guess you could say, made it look a bit more fresh. So that
It
was
better have.
cool. I know, right? I'm assuming they're all getting new voice actors. That's just my assumption, you know. Can only do so much. But yeah.
My understanding,
No,
whoever can come back is coming back, and then everyone else is getting a new one.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm just hoping for my favorite speedster twins to come back. That's all I can ask for X-Men 97, but I can't guarantee anything.
You should know as a Marvel fan, you can't get
I
everything
can
you
get
want.
Hey, I can try, okay? If Tom Liefeld can show up at SDCC, I can beg for North Star rep, okay? Hey, Leah Williams reposted my cosplay stuff on her Instagram story, so I don't want to hear out of your mouth. Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna-
she reposted a picture of my cosplay with like 2 other people because I got to see some X Factor cosplayers. X Factor never dies, baby. And she also
They're
posted
I
a
was
video
canceled.
of me at the contest right before I left for the gala.
It should have been Kelly Thompson.
Leah Williams, if you're
Williams.
watching this, you have a fan here.
Follow me back on Instagram, please. Come on the pod. But no, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of cool memories. You know, my ego did get a bit boosted that second day. I don't know what's up with me in the second day of Comic-Con, but last year I got a lot of love for my Kyrian Valentine, and then this year I got a lot of love for my North Star. It was great. So I was shocked at how many people knew who I was. You know, it was a lot of fun. My body still hurts. Especially from that Saturday. My shoulders and my feet hate me. It's great.
That's Saturday at a Comic-Con for you.
Yeah, no, you think Fridays are the worst days? Nah, it's Saturdays, baby, because that's when all the after parties happen. That's when like the masquerade and the cosplay contests happen, all that other stuff. All the fun stuff happens on Saturday. Sunday, not as much stuff happens because it's usually the end of the con, unless you're going to Saboton in Phoenix, Arizona, then that lasts until Monday for some reason. I don't know. I don't go to Sabo, so I go to Tucson Comic Con. So if you're going to Tucson Comic Con, find me. Find me there. But yeah, no. Let's hope I can get tickets for next year's San Diego Comic Con. Don't ask how I'm going to get there. Just acknowledge that I will be getting there if I get tickets, assuming. If not, I'll just try to go to the after parties. Wink wonk. Because you usually don't need a badge for that. So, okay. Can I talk about some of the things I didn't like about the Hellfire Gala?
Go ahead.
Okay, there's not a lot of stuff. Because keep in mind, it was still a lot of fun. But one, there was very little seating once more people started getting in. Like I remember downstairs in Layer X, I was hanging out with some of the people who adopted me that night, and there was these 2 tables. People were sitting at because no seating, and it got so crowded downstairs that they had to take away those tables just so that people can fit.
Aww.
We only got 1 free drink, like 1 free alcoholic beverage. And then our redeemable prize, I unknowingly stole my mom's bag because she came with me alongside my aunt. One of the mostly it was just like a couple. It was like depending on what bag you got. Like my bag personally I got a cool magnet. I got a cool pen. I got a book with Quentin Quire who looked like Tom Hiddleston for some reason. Don't worry about it. Just Google it, or I'll post it on Twitter or something on my personal Twitter, and yeah, we'll go from there. But no, it was really funny. But unfortunately, it was kind of like the free gift was kind of underwhelming. I'm like, not everyone reads books. We read comics for a reason. But no, like, and they made us, even though we spent like at least $60-something on tickets, depending on what you had, they still had us pay for food and drinks, which was interesting. But
Yeah,
at
you
least
never forgot to make money
getting a
somehow.
badge out of it.
Yep. That's why you bring your own food with you.
I know, but keep in mind, I was walking in platforms for hours that day. My feet were killing me, and I just wanted to sit down. And I was luckily able to sit down, guys. Just letting y'all know, I got to sit down. Yeah, but no. In conclusion, I had a lot of fun at Comic-Con. Would go again because I've been going since middle school. I am not in school anymore, so yeah. Anyways, if you want me to talk about it more, I'll do it on like Twitter or TikTok. So bother me there. Okay, we can move on now.
Glad you had to share that adventure with us.
Yeah, I didn't buy as much as I did last year, so be proud of me. Yeah. Also, Boom Studios hit me up for a Briar cover. Wink wonk. Also, Cryptid, one last thing. They had the Boom Studios booth, which was right next to the Marvel booth. They were selling comics, right? Like specialty variant covers and such. And guess which one was? I got 2 books. Guess what?
The Valentine.
They had Fence Redemption with a really cool variant cover.
As you would say, share it or it didn't happen.
Oh, okay. I also got
Yeah,
the
2
trade
books a
paperback
game.
of the first 5 issues of Briar.
Mhm.
Okay, where is it? No, Bangus.
Oh.
Where is it?
Well, Witch is looking
I
for
found
that.
it. But no, yeah,
Witch
it was
has
a lot
found
of
it.
fun. Yeah, and in conclusion, if you're going to Tucson Comic Con, find me and I will say hi.
Cool.
Also,
Perfect.
another thing, Cryptid.
Oh,
We
yeah.
were missing out on so much Fence lore. I didn't know there was actual novels. Like they were selling
Wow.
actual novels.
You know what that means, Witch, right?
I
At
need to
some
buy it and
point,
read it. I will buy an
For the
audiobook because
record,
I can't pay attention with regular books.
no.
for
If
record,
there's
in the episode that did not go up, I did mention there were Fence novels because my friend told
I didn't know about the novels until I went to
Oh.
Comic Con.
The world will
me.
never
You
trust you.
ignored
Austin.
that
Hey,
two different things.
I was about to mention, like, hey, if this comic is getting so much attention, that's getting even a book version of it. Hey, it won't be that long where the possibilities of an animated series could be on the fence. Ooh, pun intended. Ah.
But no, there are 2
Yeah.
novels. And they both look cool. I haven't read them because I didn't know they existed until this past weekend. So, but I'm also gonna send pics of Draculaura as well, so that the audience can see it when I bother the editor about this.
No.
Cool. All right.
She's so pretty.
and-
Anyways, we can move on now.
Okay, guys, let's move on. We got a lot of topics, so let's try to time this out. So, all right, who wants to do the next one?
I
I
okay.
can do it. I'm one person that saw it, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Invincible Guardian the Globe trailer. This is Invincible's first game. It's a mobile game, but it's more strategic. But it's the first game I thought the announcement was worth it at the very least.
You say that there were apparently the internet was so bad. There was because they thought it was they thought everything looked good, and there's a listen. Regardless of how anyone here feels about mobile games have a bad stigma in the gaming community. So when people also
Hey,
heard this is a mobile game,
Nothing
people
wrong with mobile gaming. Don't let anyone tell
no,
you
I
otherwise.
was saying that it seems like a lot of people don't seem to like this because it's a mobile game.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they are mad, but I'm just saying, as its first ever game, it deserves an announcement.
Yeah. Would you have rather it just been a mobile game? Or were you okay with it being a mobile game, or would you rather a console game?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay. I don't play. The last time I think I seriously played a mobile game was Please Bring It Back, Infinity Blade. one of my favorite mobile games of all time.
If-
But yeah.
People acting like this is what, like, oh, we didn't get this, y'all will get a console game. No, you will have nothing.
Yeah.
You
So,
won't have anything.
but yeah, so it seems like an usual mobile game in this genre fashion. It seems like you're going to be fighting other versions of Invincible's friends in the multiverse just in time for season 2. So
Well, I think that's because they're following the show instead of the comics, so they don't want to spoil anything.
yeah. So, yeah, so I don't know if they're gonna introduce Dr. Mindstrom in this. Maybe he'll be the big villain in the game.
I'm
or whatever.
hoping every episode that introduces a new character, that character comes to the game. I think that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And then during the
okay.
time where the show is off, you can probably do like the crossover stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I lost. Oh, do you think because Invincible teamed up with Mortal Kombat that in the multiverse season or in the game they're gonna bring Mortal Kombat characters to Invincible?
It means they can.
Yeah.
I think that's more if the game's successful or not.
Yeah. I know in the comics, which I don't think they'll do now, but just in case, spoiler, skip 10 seconds. Invincible met Spider-Man. So you know,
Invincible met everybody. Like,
yeah. I don't think
he met the Avengers. I think you bring that up.
Well, yeah, because he's more important. He's more important than them, according to Avi Arad. But yeah, so I don't know. I figured maybe because they did that in the comics, that Invincible might team up with Mortal Kombat, maybe in the show or the game, but that's just a theory.
Well,
Game theory.
Yeah.
if they approach Marvel, they do a crossover with Marvel, one many Marvel mobile games, and just get Marvel characters like that.
Yeah.
I think the Mortal Kombat might be a one-way deal. I don't think this is owned by Warner Brothers. Like they had to do a lot to get Omni-Man, from my understanding.
Yeah. But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, what are we just hanging here?
All right.
It's their first game. Let's clap, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not too invested in Invincible War, so I don't have much stake to bring to this discussion.
You picked the wrong Evil Superman show not to watch, bro.
No, he didn't watch this article. He watched
Yeah. It's true.
He didn't watch any of the good.
But one thing I will give my thoughts on is the next topic, the One Piece trailer.
Okay, I want to before we get
I
into
didn't watch
it,
but I saw that that Luffy was stretchy, and I was like, the nerds are gonna be happy.
Yes. Yep. What were you gonna say, Jake? Jake?
Jake's
Anyway,
dead.
start. What did you like about? Start with your likes and dislikes about the trailer.
I don't know. I just it does kind of feel like seeing the stuff from One Piece, being brought to life, and it feels like how I would imagine it. Boogie was the one character I was really concerned about, given how his powers work. I thought that was going to look really weird to be brought to real life.
His powers was gonna be the easiest. They just green screen, and then whatever part's not the parts moving, you cover the rest with green.
Yeah, I guess the effects are easy, but just how creepy that will look, dismembered body limbs as your weapons, But
all you always do like the heart and stuff on the inside. I think it's fine.
Gotcha. But hey, what we saw proved me wrong. It looks really great,
Wait, did you guys? I got forcefully thrown out of Discord. Did you guys talk about Shanks?
No, we didn't talk about no.
Waiting. Let credit started. Let him finish his likes and dislikes.
Oh, okay. I wasn't here for the setup because I got thrown out of Discord. So hold on.
Well, we can talk about Shanks. I mean, okay, I'm seeing that picture of Shanks. Yeah, okay. I don't see what's wrong with it.
Happen.
It must have been the picture it must have been a different picture. The one that I got shown back at my server, that had me die. It was
Look, keep this in mind, Jake. Very early on, Shanks, he's really such a common guy. He doesn't even though he's one of the four Yonkos, he just humbles himself by being ordinary. No, he doesn't go for the fabulous life or anything bigger than anything exclusive or fancy or anything.
It's not about that. It's about this dude is supposed to be the GOAT and he's gonna be important and he looks like this.
It's his face. It's his whole face. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I don't. Okay, I just want the audience to know.
It's particularly this panel. It's scene they use him where he's shooting the finger guns at someone for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't. He looks like that. Like his hair isn't long. His scar isn't that visible.
I guess you're just not supposed to expect him to be such a powerhouse from the beginning, that's why I'm.
Yeah, the problem is you know that he's supposed to. It's like, who is this guy?
I want the audience to know that I don't know much about One Piece. I've only seen Shanks maybe once or twice, and I don't even not like a scene. I mean, I've just seen his face. So when I saw,
I remember the One Piece nerds were very upset when Luffy. Spoiler: Luffy's brother dies. I remember that.
Oh, everybody was sad by that.
Well, that's 20 years old.
Well, when I saw the picture out of context, I just saw the finger scene where the finger gun scene. I just burst out laughing. I don't know what it was. It was looking at his face. I was like, that. I just started laughing.
It looks like cosplay of Shanks. I think any regular cosplayer looks better than this, and I think that's you. And I'm pretty sure that's not what they were going for. I don't think Shanks' design in the manga is gonna drastically change and look better over time. But this guy doesn't look like he's going to be a Yonko in 6 years. He looks like he's drinking beer and stuff at the back of the bar.
I mean, he could. I mean, Shanks frequently is drunk. You know, we sometimes see him after like an intense party, like trying to sober up. You know, as far as
Privy, you know what the
Johnson
scene is
goes,
supposed to be, right? From the visual of it,
yeah,
it has to be him pointing at that dude who took Luffy, right?
yeah, yeah, but you know, I don't. I'll have to see the action, the scene in question, to see how that plays out. You know.
It's just
Uh,
funny with you, bro. Like, this is not the first thing I would think of when I think of Shane. Mihawk looks good. Mihawk doesn't look exactly what I thought he should look like, but the person they picked looks great. This is not the face I when I saw Shane. That's all I'm saying.
And either I only saw the picture. I didn't see the trailer, so like maybe he looks better in the trailer. I don't know. I didn't see it,
He
but
looks definitely
that
good.
picture,
I
that
don't know. Like
that
one thing I
The
got.
second picture is edited, by the way. First picture is the
yeah,
legit.
yeah. The picture, but based on the picture, I was just laughing. I just couldn't take his face seriously, but that was me. So I know.
I guess just wait to see you. Just wait to see him
Hey, but think
singing.
about it. Could have been
You
worse.
know?
Could have been
Yeah,
worse.
Just wait to
yeah,
see him singing while he's drunk. So, all right.
yeah,
But
yeah.
okay. Alton, what were your thoughts on the trailer?
Buggy looks exactly what I expected.
Yep.
I know some people were disappointed by the casting because but I was fine because he wears makeup all the time anyway,
Yep.
so it doesn't really matter as much. Dragon is. We saw Garp in here. Garp looks great.
Oh,
We
yeah.
first saw Garp on the camera for the first time.
Oh, what did you think of Gold D. Rogers?
This dude like a crackhead, bro. What am I looking at?
Oh, yeah.
He looks like a discount Captain Hook, bro.
I mean, in all fairness,
Look.
Rogers
I'm
has
not
a
gonna say
very simple
I don't mean
design.
that's like a bad thing because he's literally about to die.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was funny that he was doing like this like manic laughter, cracked out looking face, and I'm like, okay, I'll let it slide, I guess. It's just makes me laugh. But
Keep in
you see
mind,
Dragon, you see the back of Dragon's head. You see, I was trying to go back in that scene because I know, Cribbit, you know, if you go back to that scene in the manga, you get to see like a lot of big name pirates in the future. You
oh
see Dofi
yeah.
in the background, Shanks is there crying. You get Crocodile, Moria. So I was going back to try to see if I saw anybody. I didn't really see them.
Mhm. A lot of fun Easter eggs for the audience. Definitely, you can count on that. um,
But trailer wise, the show looks okay. I
you can
like pretty
definitely.
much everyone but Luffy. And it's not the Luffy actor's fault. It's just Luffy's a hard character to do in general.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
found
we knew.
I found the excitement and joy coming from that actor when he was like, "I'm going to be king of the pirates." Like,
Yeah, that's one line though.
he has a spirit. Like, no
Having
one
the spirit
messes with
is
my
it's not the same
friend.
thing as being
Well,
premeditation.
I
No
think I don't
one
know
messes
what
But
it
with
is
my
about.
friend.
I will say this: I don't know what it is about animation and live action, but there is a dissonance where you allow characters to act a certain way in an animation format than it is a live action. I think because we see it a little more like real and grounded. So maybe that's the disconnect here. Maybe it's like
with Luffy
Luffy.
here, they already said they were changing parts of Luffy's character.
Yeah,
So I knew he was gonna be that guy going into it.
yeah,
Mhm.
So it just in some scenes he has the energy and he's like I can tell he's trying giving his best, and there's some scenes where I want to blame the dialogue or his delivery. Like it's not even really in this trailer, it's in the last trailer where Nami and Zoro are arguing on the boat, and he's like, I'm feeling some tension on the crew, and then, and some stuff like that. That thing, I was like, I don't like how you deliver that, but I can't really say that it's bad yet because we haven't seen it.
Yep, yep.
yeah.
As
But
for what we got, as for what we got from what's back into this series, it's like they're going to condense all the two villains into one series. Like, so we're
They're
fortunate
we're
about
going to Log
it.
Town because they had the scene with the barrel in the trailer.
There you go. We got that. We're also going to get R-Long, but we're not going to get Don Krieg.
There's no, they can't cut out Don Creed. We saw again in the trailer.
We saw Accent, you know, they have somewhere, Austin. You know?
So we saw Axe and Morgan. We saw Gin. If they're doing Gin, they have to do Don Creed, and Mihawk's still here. So they have to still do some of the Don Creed stuff, even if he don't have the full suit on and everything.
So I have a question. Given the fact that One Piece as a show hasn't ended, I don't think the live action series is going to get to the One Piece before the manga, let alone the anime does.
No.
No.
So
No. To be fair, if he wants to, they can do that. And the reason they can do that is because One Piece as a story changed so much from what Oda originally wanted to do. Like the Shibukai, which are the 7 warlords, are really what extended the One Piece story to 20 plus years. Because the original story was supposed to be Marine was supposed to be they fight Mihawk, Zoro fights Mihawk, and then they fight the Yonko. There was no 7 warlords. There was no Dofi, whose arc took basically 3 years. There was no more. There was Moria, but he wasn't a warlord at the time. There was no Crocodile, like all this stuff. The original plan was just straight to go fight the Yonko. And Oda wants to do that. He still do that. But I'm sure if he do that, he's going to change what the One Piece is. And it's not going to be the same as the manga.
The real question is, what is the One Piece?
People are find it out.
I was thinking like,
It's
okay,
friends we made
like I said,
along the way.
you and Cryptid are more
Oda
knowledgeable.
comments on his life that's not what it is.
Yeah. You and Crypto would know the series more than me, so your reasoning is probably more plausible than my thinking. But I just think that from an outsider's perspective, I could feel like I might be a little cheated if I was just waiting 20 years in the manga for it to get there, and then I get it in the TV show first. But at the same time, I don't think the TV show can end.
Can't be the same thing.
Right. I don't think the TV show can end without them achieving a goal, unless if it gets canceled, of course, and without them achieving a major goal, if not finding the One Piece. So I don't know.
The final boss
Hello.
seems like it's going to be Arlong, and the major accomplishment is to liberate a whole town, you know, that was enslaved by fishmen. You know, there you go.
But then the title is One Piece, and that's the treasure that they're hunting for. So they do have to get there eventually. Not in this season, obviously, but like an eventual.
We're like, no, about this season, but
yeah,
what they will most likely end up having to do is change to something else. Because there's a lot of stuff I don't think the live action will be able to do full on. Like right now, we just beat 2 Yonko. We still got Shanks. We have what the Emu and the Goro say in the world government and all that crazy stuff that still haven't been revealed yet. Screw like what the One Piece is. We still don't know what the Void Century is. And like all this other stuff that's way more important. Because finding the One Piece just means Luffy is king. But after that, there's a final war across the whole goddamn world. Like there's so much still going on. That if they did a version of that in the show, I don't think people would be too mad because they know for a fact that it has to be different in the manga.
Bro, God better protect Oda, bro, because Jesus Christ, he's nowhere near done. It sounds like. But
we just now found out that they have God Knights that we have to fight, but before we even get the Emu, there's so much stuff we're still finding out last minute that we still got to do.
Oda got to mind his house. Oda's got to mind his house, bro. I don't know how old he is right now, but I would not be stretching a series out this long with any risk that I can't finish.
He just got eye surgery because he was seeing blurry for a while, but now he can see again.
No, you got.
Jake, he's very passionate about his craft, man. You can definitely.
I know he's, and I respect. That's what I respect about Oda. Okay, I respect him, and I don't even read his work.
He's only look. He's 48. The man who makes JoJo is 63, and the guy who made Dragon Ball Z is 68. We might have 20 more years.
We might. I'm just saying. I don't want anything. God forbid he turns into the Hunter x Hunter mangaka. Bless his heart. But there's just so many things that can happen.
He can't get off the floor. He's like, you know what, fuck.
Yeah, I'd be like, listen, I know you love this series, but maybe try to, get closer to. Don't rush it, but try to get closer to the end a little bit. Let's get to the One Piece a little faster.
I'm doing what he wants.
To be fair, Oda has been letting other artists do like other side stuff that he wanted to do.
Mm.
Like the artist for Dr. Stone did the Ace novels, which shows Ace journey up to him meeting Whitebeard and stuff.
Yeah.
That a lot of people didn't know about. And like, so he's willing to like delegate if it gets bad, I assume, based on
Okay.
this.
He has contingencies. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, hopefully the Netflix One Piece show as a
But to
promotional
be fair, if
platform.
this show is like a regular show, we probably would have got this season in 3 to 4 more years to the next one.
Mhm.
So who knows? We
pro-
might actually fit when they get there.
We'll see.
promotional wise, this could be a great promotional piece for the anime. Like, oh, this is how the story's done here, but let's see the full potential of the story in the anime or the manga. So it could be good for that. Hopefully, it does well. But
Yeah.
we'll
It's
see.
just weird they chose One Piece out of all, since it's a story that's not finished.
Yes.
Right.
Which is funny
Bro,
because Netflix I can't even do the stories they have finished good.
bro, people cried when Ash Ketchum retired. I can't imagine when One Piece ends, what people are gonna be like, bro. They're gonna have like a holiday. The day One
It's gonna
Piece
be a
ended will be a
reverse. There's going to be a reverse ride in the street where everyone goes in the street, but instead of breaking up, they just fix the world.
holiday. He heals humanity. But yeah. All right. Yeah, let's move on.
Let's move on to the next one. All right, we're done with the media news. Now on to the comic news. Austin, this is all you, buddy.
Oh, let me scroll up. Why have I got to do the new Punisher? I don't want to talk about that loser.
Okay. I'll bring it up then. Okay, new Punisher to be Joe Garrison.
I feel so bad for this guy. That no matter what happens, people are going to hate this run. This run can be amazing, and people are just going to be mad regardless.
I think
Because also they didn't Frank to replace Frank.
Whoa. Cryptid.
Wait, credit. You sound like an autopilot right now.
Cryptid.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Scripted.
You guys
Fix your mic,
hear me?
please. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can now.
Yeah.
Repeat everything you just said.
Oh, okay. From what we learned from the release of
We're losing you again.
Dang it. Oh, one second.
Yo, we're losing you, homie.
Hear me now?
Yeah.
We're going to pray
Okay.
to God that we can.
Okay. So Joe Garrison is an ex-SHIELD agent who, for whatever reason, decides to be the next Punisher. And according to the writer, he wants this to be the Danny Ketch of Ghost Rider compared to Johnny Blaze. Does anybody care to explain that reference?
Danny Cash is the second Ghost Rider, but funny enough, his story is the one that most people know more about.
Uh-huh.
But he's also like the step brother or half brother of Johnny Blaze.
Yeah, I mean, the way I always saw Danny Ketch is he was supposed to be the more heavy metal Ghost Rider compared to Johnny, who was more evil Knievel,
Yeah, that's true. But anytime I ask people about a Ghost Rider story or what they know about Ghost Rider, they usually verbatim names like Danny Ketch's outfit.
Okay, well,
And
you definitely can already assume that nobody's going to confuse John Garrison's story with anything Frank does. But yeah, a few things I can already draw from the reference of the cover. Okay, so he's going to be using high-tech weaponry, aka electric weapons or technology weapons, basically weapons that are of fiction as opposed to artilleries or guns. So
all high-end shield tech.
yes, so high-end that they can't possibly be realistic. Okay, so you already have that one strike against this Punisher. I'm just already foreseeing that this is going to be. You guys remember Marvel tried making a new person to be Venom?
I forgot his name,
A
honestly.
lot of
What
people have
Like
about
been trying
Lee?
to give him.
There's like several
Lee,
people.
No,
like
no, no, no,
What are
no,
you talking about?
no. There have been
Lee.
people who wore Venom. They were trying to make the new Venom. The only 3 new Venoms are Scorpion. There was Lee, and then there's that other loser.
Oh,
Okay, but Lee was like an entirely new character that they tried doing something interesting with. They tried, okay, the symbiote was, had a fresh start, right? He wanted to bond with a new host and, continue being a space knight and all. And when it bonded to this new character named Lee, it did the opposite. Lee corrupted the symbiote and they tried making it a big deal, but Lee ended up becoming a joke in the Venom community. Like right up to the point where,
Yeah. I'm
right up to
thinking
the point
Sonic
where
murdered the next
Yep, right up to the point where Lee did eventually interact with Eddie Brock, right? But this was when they were in jail, right? And this was when Lee lost the Venom symbiote, and Lee was going up to Eddie saying, "Oh, you the guy everybody's making such a big deal with? You don't deserve Venom. I'm a diehard Venom fanatic. Look at my dedication." And he takes his shirt off, and you find that he tattooed the symbol of Venom on his chest. And what does Eddie do?
What the fuck?
Eddie just laughs like, "What a joke, dude!" Like, that's what I'm
Yeah, I
imagining.
would too.
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining is going to happen with this Joe Garrison. Yeah, I feel like it's doomed from the start. To be honest, like,
to be fair, replacing Punisher, no matter who they did, I would have ended up bad. But
yes,
funny enough, they already had another option because Lady Punisher is still a thing, and it isn't a situation where they're just replacing a dude with a female. So people could be like as mad at it if they used to be in like certain stuff like this, since she already
and
existed.
and we also have a UK Punisher, Nigel, who's black, but again, people would still be pissed off of that too. I mean, for
They
God's
could
sakes,
have even 2099 Punisher to the present.
yeah, I mean, for God's sakes, this Joe Garrison is a white guy. I mean, I'm assuming he's straight, unless they decide to go the LGBT curveball on this.
Oh,
I
I
don't
will
know.
win. I will always win that fight, by the way.
So you think what?
No
Hey,
way.
an
But
LGBT
the people they're
Punisher.
trying
How
to
about
get
that?
leading book to lose.
An LGBT Punisher. What about that?
punishes the homophobes of New York City.
But
Yeah.
what about Eddie Brock is already super fruity.
Well,
I have
But-
evidence.
But anyway, yeah, doomed from the start. You have to be an amazing writer to make this character sync well with the audience, who just makes it clear that they want Frank Castle back, wearing the skull in his chest, beating the hell out of bad guys, guns, artilleries, AKs, whatever.
I just if Marvel does, like, I understand why Marvel is hesitant on the Punisher because of the real life, stuff. Police for some reason seeing the Punisher murder people, like, yeah, we can use that symbol. That would be cool. Like it don't make sense. But I was like, if that's the case, then just put a warning like the beginning of the Punisher book, or bring back like Punisher Max or something, where it's like clear that this is for the adults and all this other stuff. You're worried about influencing other people.
well,
Like,
Yep.
the problem is it's a current influence. It's not like what Disney does with Disney Plus with their shows. They're like, oh, when we made this was like back then. This was a different time. You have to understand. Like this is something that actually was currently affecting police officers' way of seeing the world.
well,
So
to be fair, it's
it's
not
probably
current now. Like, police aren't doing it
well,
anymore.
not
That was
yeah,
like
yeah, not
5
right
years
now. It's not. Yeah.
I mean, look. To be fair with the Punisher, if he has his eyes set on a certain person, there is a good chance that person has no one to blame but themselves. Like Punisher doesn't exactly go for choir boys.
Yeah, but I guess Marvel doesn't want
He
that
kills random
responsibility.
clowns and stuff. I don't think I ever seen Frank Level like, let me check the web real quick to see if the guy did anything. Like, he just walked up. I'm going after like Hammerhead, and I kill like 50 goons. You don't know what those goons got going on.
Like I swear, one of my favorite Punisher moments in comics was actually during the Marvel and DC crossover, where he comes across none other than Joker, and Joker's like, "Oh wow, you're just another costume cape hero. Okay, arrest me. I'll go to jail. Maybe some of the rehabilitation there could change my life." And Punisher's like, "I got all the therapy. I got all the therapy you need right here. And
Yeah, Jesus.
Joker got scared. Like, wait, you're really going to kill me? Oh shit! Like, oh
Like, that is
wow!
That's
Batman.
better because DC has this thing where I think they forgot that the Joker's a coward and
Yeah.
usually will run if
Hey,
the
hey,
going gets stuck,
at
and they
least
try
he's
to make
not
him
a
disappear.
Yahtzee, okay? At least he's not a Yahtzee. I'll give them
Yep.
that. Nah.
Yep. Because
Um,
Nazis aren't
Honestly, I can
funny.
respect the villain. I can
I mean,
respect the villain, not Yahtzee.
I can understand. I can understand Marvel's reluctance based off prior experience, even whether it's warranted or not. It did happen, so they're probably worried about it happening again. Now that puts Punisher in an awkward spot because obviously it's not his fault or the writer's fault. He is the way he is, but it means you might have to go through this awkward transitional period where you're like, how do we make the Punisher, but also avoid inspiring the wrong people? I guess so. You know.
What you do is you drop the solo book and you're just going to keep disrespecting him and make
Yeah.
him back as a Daredevil villain where they can debate ideologies like they did in the 2017 run.
There you go. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
That way you still can beat up Punisher, but you're not like glorifying his actions because you're seeing it through Daredevil's eyes.
Mhm. But all right, I think we talked enough about this. We still got a lot of lists to go. So you guys want to move on?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, Austin, you
R.I.P.
take this one.
Thank you. They were putting Daredevil back in his 90s black armor for some reason. So
Why
I
not?
want that
It's
article
retro.
down.
Why not? It's retro. You guys ever
It
wonder,
just
like,
feels
you
weird after him getting empowered by God and fighting staying away
know?
from the wiles in hell and then what he's left in hell right now. So it's like, oh yeah, so don't worry about that. We're just gonna put him back in the black armor. He's going back to New York.
That's a question I'm surprised most people don't really have when it comes to superheroes in tights. Like they're all fighting gangs or other people with like heavy ammunition and weaponry, and they're just coming in literally in tights. Like you ever
Why not? What's
wonder
wrong with
why
tights,
don't
man?
I
To
guess.
why
be
don't
fair,
people
they
buy
don't smaller
armor?
boots and the armor stuff on it. I think only
Mhm.
Spider-Man wears tights because he said that armor sometimes can stop him from sticking to walls directly.
Um. Yeah, and in the MCU too, they do fix that too because that's why they have the padded look. But
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why they all wear leather.
yeah.
They all wear
Even though I
leather,
don't think that every hero should have it, but that's another
leather,
discussion.
leather or Kevlar or something that makes sense for the character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Daredevil, yeah, Daredevil has Kevlar usually,
Yeah.
Oh
but
no,
it
no,
is like a
Daredevil.
full-on armor look.
No,
Yeah.
Daredevil in the MCU, he found a new fabric that was created by basically the Gladiator,
Yeah,
that
and Kevlar is something
acts,
else.
acts as is as light as clothing, but just as durable as bulletproof stuff.
Mm.
I think it worked better with
Um,
Kingpin because he didn't mind on his suit, so it just looked nice. But
Whatever
what really thought
whatever happened to
about this
unstable
is
molecules?
that's Fantastic
Unstable
Four,
Mark?
the only them.
That's what?
That's Fantastic Four, and it's only them. Leave them alone.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought Spider-Man had an unstable molecule suit at one point.
nah.
He had it, but
Oh.
I don't know why. Look, bro, it's back to basics. Leave him alone. We're going back to basics.
60 years of comics. We're back to basics.
But
And
this
plus,
run is by DG. What, Chichester? I don't know how to say his name. I never heard this writer before. Apparently, he's returned to Hell Kitchen, so I guess he wrote a Daredevil story before. I just don't recognize the name. Oh
okay,
no,
yeah.
this is the dude for Nike. That's what it is. This is the guy who wrote the original run, and he's coming back to write more about it, and that's where they're putting him back in the suit.
Okay, so some nostalgia bait from the writer's standpoint.
And,
Okay.
the artist is Mark Bagley, so if you've read anything Spider-Man for the last 10 years, you are familiar with the guy's work. He refused to leave the character alone.
He goes from one red guy to another. Just like Jake, all red people look the same to him.
It's true.
Yeah, that's me when I'm drawing the Chibis, by the way.
Hey.
That's all
Like
we
we have
know.
all of
So
them. We have like 3 different red people, and then you just have the one purple person. Philly, please
Mhm.
come back. I need blue.
Well,
But yeah.
that's all we really know about this run. But I guess it seems like we're turning back to the 90s. So this isn't going to be like, this isn't a follow up to Chips or Darky. This is literally just us going back to the 90s to tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll read it. I didn't read the original Black Armor. Like I said, my Daredevil's journey started in the 2000s. So I'll go back and read that story, then read this, and just see how it is.
I'll give it a check. I'll check it out. See, at least the first few issues, anyway. So yeah. All right, guys. Let's move on to the next one. Jake,
you do it.
Want to tackle this? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Justice League versus King Kong versus Godzilla series announced.
What the
Yeah.
hell? You know what this
So
reminds
if you
me
want-
of that we just you know what this reminds me of that we just got an announcement for recently? This reminds me of that the fact that Marvel's gonna be doing an Avengers dinosaur crossover.
Oh God.
You know
what?
Go big or go home. Go
To
big
be
or go
fair,
home, as
Marvel
the expression says.
So my 2 cents on it is that basically it shouldn't have just been Godzilla versus Kong. Because it's the Justice League, it seems like, I don't know, it feels like all three of them don't have the same space together. I think the best thing would have been to do is do King of Monsters plot, but with the Justice League involved. So like all the monsters are here and they have to learn to trust Godzilla.
Realistically, this movie will just be what Godzilla fights Superman up, and then everyone bullying Kong.
Yeah.
Because while Kong is strong and stuff, like if we go by like comic feats, like one how strong this Justice League is going to be as a crossover. So if you go by
But to be fair,
Kong is probably the weakest person here. Other than like damn it.
To be fair, the poster of Superman flying towards Godzilla and Godzilla just stands up, it looks kind of cool, bro. If I can find it. Yeah, if I find it. Yeah, hang on. Give me a second.
But realistically, I don't know how many details we got about the story, but most likely it will be the plot of Godzilla vs. Kong and then Justice League trying to minimize that damage. And then they probably join in on the fight, and then Godzilla comes in anyway to all jump him. Will be just kind of funny.
He comes in and Brainiac fuses will make a Godzilla. There you go.
Yeah, something like that. There's always a DC villain involved.
I found it immediately. Give me a second. I got it.
Maybe like Godzilla gets like fused or controlled by like a mazo or something. That'd be kind of cool. But I'm not that excited to see the Justice League commit animal abuse. But that's just me. My Superman don't hit.
I would consider it more like kaiju abuse.
Kong is a monkey.
Kaiju, still a kaiju.
He is a kaiju.
I don't know.
Leave Kong alone. Leave Kong alone. He's an American monster and he deserves some respect. Okay,
he's from America.
It feels like Kong is being set up to be bullied here because if you know anything about Godzilla in comics and in crossovers, he can't really look weak. He can lose encounters, but he usually wins at the end of the day.
It's like Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's have Godzilla versus Black Adam.
In the legendary movie, he's a character, but he's full on just usually a force of nature in like he used to be what Galactus used to be back in the day.
All right, everybody, turn your attention to picks. I'm about to post Superman versus Godzilla. It's in the books.
Oh God, I'm scared. Oh, that actually kind of looks cool.
Weird? Oh, what are you talking about? It looks amazing.
Oh, that's
I said I was scared, but then I looked at it and I was like, "Oh, that actually looks pretty good."
Yeah, this isn't the picture I saw, Jake. The picture I saw had like Kong in the middle, like the Justice League on one side, and Godzilla on the other side, or something.
Yeah.
But as a book, I think this is going to be cool. How good it is depends on how they handle kaiju. Because King Kong realistically doesn't really have a place here, so I'm kind of interested to see what they do with that. And just might end up with Kong to go with them for all we know. And it's like a jump into Godzilla situation.
It's going to be a novelty comic series, but you know what? What's wrong with novelty? You want to see the interactions, how they play on.
Yeah, sometimes you just want a book you can enjoy, and that's kind of what this is.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to see the toys
versus the Power Rangers.
Yes.
And he was just all the Power Rangers and Rita, and no one knew what to do.
Godzilla was the one monster Rita couldn't control, and that pissed her off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is good. Godzilla seems to still be as relevant as ever. I think he's still got a comic book series going on. Kong had a new one start a while back. They got 2 different movies coming out next year and a TV show. Good to see. I
Yay.
guess it's good to see it work. I guess.
Oh, that reminds me,
Yeah.
we're not going to talk about it now, but that Skull Island anime on Netflix, pretty good. I'll watch it. So,
I gotta watch it. It's on my list. All right.
pretty good.
We can talk about it when it get after you watch it. Then
Gotcha.
Cryptid,
All
remember
right.
we
Then.
gotta watch Dragon Prince.
Yeah. Yep.
oh yeah,
Definitely.
we got
It's gonna
more
be a busy
pictures
month.
for that. But it seems
You're
like Godzilla just comes up on Metropolis.
Yeah. He said, why not? That city looks
Godzilla rides up and walks Superman to a forest. Yeah, I'll show you the picture here. He's swallowed up. You see Superman fighting some type of Kong, but he's like green.
Mm.
He's like part green, and you get to see Kong on Skull Island. Well, this might not be Kong. It might be a different monkey. But you see Kong on Skull Island fighting the Skull Crawlers, and the Flash Rogue there with Gorilla Grodd. So this might be Gorilla Grodd controlling Kong, and Godzilla's showing up to stop it. Type situation.
There, writes itself. Yeah.
I'm about to post the pictures in pics. That's not the right channel. I almost posted a comic Phanatics by accident.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
Oh, I
Godzilla,
see it
There you go.
now. Okay.
You see this giant green looking ape?
Yeah.
Like I thought it was Beast Boy at first.
that's fair.
Oh, that's Mecha King Kong.
That's what I'm saying. So I think Grodd and them made this after meeting Kong on Skull Island.
Hang
And
on.
you see them in the final.
I
Final
hope
picture
to
hasn't loaded
God
yet.
that green laser. I hope to God that green laser isn't kryptonite laser. That'd be so annoying.
What are you talking about?
He's shooting a green laser out of his eye.
It's
And,
100% cool. Like, we both know that.
yeah.
And it is Kryptonite means Lex Luthor is involved.
Listen, I don't understand because we know from Doomsday you can beat up Superman and he'll die eventually. Why can't we just have a strong enemy? I don't know. Whatever.
Okay.
But,
I think because they got to make Godzilla strong, they got to make Superman look weak. They're just you're like, why can't Superman just beat him? Well, he's just Kryptonite around.
yeah. All right.
Gotcha. But anyway, I think we talked enough about this, so let's move on to the
Did
next
we?
topic, guys.
Just kidding.
Yeah, we might have to cut some stuff.
Let's go. Let's move on. Which you do this one?
Okay. Doom's X-Men announced. Oh God, I heard about that. I was like,
Oh.
Doom, you had one job. I also saw that for the premiere, like for the thing of Fall of X, which if anyone's been on my Twitter, and TikTok, the video I'm talking about. But I was like, I didn't want this. Who wanted this?
Who wants
A lot of
more
people-
X-Men?
It's like I came here. I pulled up for Alpha Flight, not for Doom's BS.
A lot of people have been wanting the Doom's X-Men team since they set it up in X-Men vs. Fantastic Four, which is in like the first year of X-Men Krakoa era.
Count. Name the names. I want to hear names. Who wanted this?
Going through the article. I got Austin. There you go.
That doesn't count. You know what? Just because of that, I make you a brick.
Dirt.
So who's gonna be on this team
this week?
If Wish isn't here next week, it's because I did something, and we're just going to say that. And
no, if I'm not here next week, y'all, you guys know the actual reason. I went back to the Gay Lake.
Oh yeah. But
all right. So who's gonna be the roster for this team?
I don't think they have names yet because all these are new mutants. All these are natural mutants from Latveria.
Oh
One looks
wow.
like MODOK. I think one
So
of them looks
basically, if you remember Phanatics versus X-Men, Doom was experimenting and looking at mutants because he's like, so obviously they're going to start a war at some point. They're bringing together heroes and villains. They're obviously going to attack humanity at some point. So I'm going to be ready. So that plan is finally it's come together. All these mutants are from Latveria home base. People were calling them the D-Men for some reason, which was funny. But nah, they just called Doom's and
What a team to aspire to be in. Don't you want to be a D-man?
We already have a D-Man.
I know,
yeah,
but
these are
those
D-Men.
D-men.
But the artist when you're the artist comments when you're creating new mutants or superheroes in general, she apparently has a daughter. So she looked at her she looked at her daughter like, what kind of Pokemon would you like? And she's like, I like electricity. And that's why one of them has lightning powers. So the powers are based on what that's kind of how they judge which powers they give out. Which is kind of makes this team a little bit more unique if you're looking at the picture. Let me see if I can get it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because these mutants look weird.
Mm.
They really
Like,
do.
look, I don't want to be racist like Jake when it comes to them and put them in collars, but like this is insane.
Wow.
Hey.
Hey, those are Latvian citizens you're talking about, Austin.
Two of them warm. Oh yeah, I've got since they're from Liberia, he won't put them in collars. Let me say that back.
Oh, and of course they're going to be fighting against Kamala Khan too, the mutant Miss
Yeah, her
Marvel.
and Wolverine was like. So we have some molten rock man, a lightning girl, a chick with 4 arms with spikes that look like plants, and a ninja. And that's about it.
Okay.
We don't have names. We don't have no other design picks. This is all we got.
If you want, I can send the video of me fanboying over Alpha Flight because that shows Doom's X-Men in there.
Yeah. Oh,
You have to like screenshot it or something. You know,
this already has two things working against it for me. One, Krakoa, and two, Miss Marvel as an X-Men. So, yeah, it's going to be a pass for me.
Because it's the fall of X, I think it's fine because it's all about taking down Krakoa. I think that works.
I don't know, man. You've been mentioning the fall of Krakoa for a while now. It still hasn't happened. You know.
No, because they has been setting up, but this era is the fall of Krakoa. Everything has been leading up to this, where everything about mutants, society, all this finally collapses. So this is going to be the pinnacle of the situation.
They're calling it the fall of X Cryptid. I think that's pretty definite. So,
this isn't an event. This is the saga. The first saga was what I forgot what they called the first one.
It's
the first one was called something. The second one was called the Destiny of X.
No. Destiny of X, House of X, Sword of X, and then the fall of X.
Sword of X was an event.
Oh.
So it was like House of X. You had whatever the middle thing was called, and then you got this, the 3-part saga. But the only other thing I want to comment on, Doom is in a weird situation. I like how they're still putting him in every book but his own. He's fighting Thanos and Thor right now. And Thor, he's in like 2 other books, and now he's also an X-Men. This man has too many plots that he don't know what to do with.
Is that Doom or is that just one of his Doom bots?
We know for a fact that the last 2 things he came in Thor and in this is actually him. There's some I can't name the book. There's a book right now back in time doing some crazy stuff. And it's really
those are the new Doom models. That's what it is.
But if they let Doom put half his thoughts that he put in all 99 plans at once, he will win. Stop going after every faction like this and pick one clan, please.
Yeah.
Never.
That's all I ask.
All right. But anyway, final thoughts.
Let's keep doing
No. Give me Alpha Flight or give me death.
Yeah.
Let's make demon.
Well, we ain't giving. They ain't giving you Alpha Flight Witch, but what they are giving you is in the next topic.
Hey, we're getting Alpha Flight.
A gang war. Marvel's next big event.
This is funny because me and Jake actually has talked about this before. This is an event I actually asked for a long time ago. I don't know if you remember.
I wasn't expecting, but I'm not mad at.
Buy your current favorite writer, Austin, of all people.
No, let's not do that.
Dude, don't get me started.
I'm not
wrote Hellions, and I was like, this book is good. What is happening?
What's happening is with Spider-Man, he's following the Dan slot method of, along with people talking about it, then it's going to make money. And that's the problem. But honestly, I'm not reading this event, so it doesn't matter. But this was an event.
Yeah, probably me neither. I'll look at other people reading it, though.
I'm not reading anything to do with dude links, bro. I don't know what you want me to say.
But what is it about?
Jake, you should know it by the title alone. Gangs of New York decide to go out on war with each other.
That's what I'm going to. You talked about this a long time ago, where it was back when Devil Reigns first started, and it felt like with Mary Lou Cage rising up, all the gangs were going to try something, but then no one did anything.
Mm-hmm.
So they're finally getting back to that, where Tombstone, Hammerhead, Kingpin, allegedly, all the major gangs that Spider-Man fights. So, like, what Mr. Negative, Hydra apparently is involved, AIM's involved, Diamondback and his people, the Owl, whatever he's doing right now. Some guy named Shotgun, just not going to talk about. All the gangs are rising up, and they're about to fight for territory. And Spider-Man, Miles, She-Hulk, Daredevil, Spider-Woman. Why is She-Hulk here?
Why not?
Because she's from the West Coast, which
I said why not?
Because she's from the West Coast. That's the reason.
Yeah.
Out of all the heroes in New York, it's weird that they just threw She-Hulk here. That's all I'm saying. Spider-Woman being here because she's a spider.
And Elektra's also going to be here. You know, the Elektra Daredevil.
Yeah, but at least she stays in that part of New York. Her and Spider-Man are basically neighbors.
Yeah.
And Miles is here because he's Spider. I feel like Miles and Spider-Woman are only here because they're Spider people.
Yeah.
Because none of them, not only do none of them have a connection to Luke Cage, they're both in different parts of the city where this really shouldn't be affecting them yet. Like, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently Shang-Chi is also here at his gig, because I don't know if you know, he's leading the 10 Ring situation at the moment. Well, it's not called the 10 Rings, whatever his organization is. He's been leading that group for a while.
They still are continuing with that gimmick with Shang-Chi? 10 rings? Seriously?
Well, he has 10 rings, which aren't the 10 rings. They're 10 different rings.
Okay.
And he's leading a gang that's called something, but I don't remember what it's called. I haven't read that book in a long time. But he still had that stuff.
Okay. I gotta be honest, like
that stuff is happening here. I
gotta be honest. As far as this event goes, the one thing that's keeping me interested to want to read this is really Luke Cage, because he's getting a tie into this event, you know. And
that's the only book I'm gonna read. I know it's not written by just that.
And the premise of his tie-in is, you know, even though he's mayor, dude, he is itching to get back on the streets and work with his hands, you know? Like, dude, there's just so much chaos out here that I have to be part of the physical solution, you know?
Yeah, it'll be the first time Luke Cage's been in action for a while, so that's gonna be fun.
Yep.
Because his last big part was with Devil's Reign, and at some point it's Thunderbolts.
Yes,
and
where he's just
great.
Yep. It's just unfortunate that every time we see Luke Cage now, he's just literally an office jockey now.
Yeah, I think me, you, and Jake both all agreed that putting him off was a good move. They just didn't do anything with him. Especially they cut his tie-in out of Devil's Reign, where he fought that concrete woman.
Yeah.
So they kind of screwed him over a little bit. So hopefully this is the start of good things for him as mayor.
Oh, and apparently Danny Rand's going to have something to do with his tie-in too. So yeah, look forward to
You mean
that.
the Iron Fist? Is the Iron Fist? Yeah, I don't know if I want to see that. Right?
The actual Iron Fist. I know Swordmaster is wearing the green and yellow suit right now, but dang it, there's one Iron
I don't
Fist
think Danny
everybody
Rand has
knows.
power. Is what I mean.
Yeah, that was stupid.
I don't even think he could do his stuff. He knows martial arts. I don't know how useful it's going to be with like Hammerhead coming and start headbutting people.
Oh man, poor Danny.
The
Poor
other,
Danny.
the
Punished
other major
for
I want to talk about is if you see the cover, you'll see the female Beetle here.
Yep.
She get married to Spider-Man's old roommate.
Robbie
So it's
Thompson's
kind of
son. Yeah.
Robbie Thompson's son. So it just kind of throws me off. They're going to throw her in this event because I'm actually excited for the marriage part.
Yeah.
The most you don't know this. Like while you were reading like Superior Spider-Man and having the time of your life, and I was like being disappointed. I was reading the Superior Foes of Spider-Man by Nick Spencer, which
yeah, I
takes place at
recall
the
that.
same time, and I fell in love with like these losers.
That's what Nick Spencer specializes in, lovable losers, you know?
That's probably why I like Nick Spencer's run so much, because since it was also a follow-up to that where Boomerang and all them came back.
You guys know what was one
under,
you guys know what was one of the funniest things about Superior Foes of Spider-Man? This was like Boomerang trying to bring in the superiors the Sinister Six, right? But there were only 5 members. And, Boomerang's logic was, don't you see, this could work in our favor. We'll call ourselves Superior, the Sinister Six, and when people see that there are 5 of us, they'll be thinking, oh my god, there's one mystery opponent. There's one mystery villain that we haven't seen yet.
That reminds me of the one good joke in the Fantastic Four life story when the Fantastic Four were captured and Reed was like, "Oh, but you didn't capture Sue." And he's like, "What? What are you talking about? Yeah, she's just invisible right now. She's not in that cage over there." He's like, "What?" And then,
this is why it's important. Yeah.
Jake, you saw Harley Quinn. And I know some of our readers probably read the War of Jokes and Riddles. That book kind of did what those stories did for Kite Man, with his resurgence and new purpose. That was what this book did for Boomerang. But
okay, so
but her being here tells me that her wedding is probably gonna go bad, and I'm kind of disappointed.
I'm here for the crashing of the Tony Stark wedding.
Okay, so awesome. What you're telling me is that sometime in the future, Deathfall's going to have Boomerang versus Kite Man. So, since they seem like parallels of each other, you know.
A side book just give me 2 D-list villains of Resurgence. That'll be a good battle.
Yeah, but
I think it means the Beetle upcoming wedding is gonna go bad, and I just hope that they survive it, I guess.
Oh, geez, whoever could have foreseen the wedding of Tombstone's daughter going bad, you know?
To be fair, not a lot of people are just gonna pull up on Tombstone like that. On a regular day, like Kingpin and Hammerhead aren't gonna just like, you know what, his daughter getting wedding, let's go try to kill him. Like, a lot, they don't usually do that. They usually work classy.
Gotcha. But anyway, any final thoughts?
I hope Jake has fun reading this, because I'm not doing it. I'm reading the Luke Cage book. That's about it.
I hope Austin has fun hearing me tell Cryptid to read this, because I'm probably not reading it.
I'll take a bullet. Hey, I'll take a bullet for all y'all, just like I'm taking a bullet with reading Zeb Wells' Spider-Man run.
I would rather
I don't even know why you're reading that book anyways. You don't need to read it.
Yeah, Cryptid, after this after the Spider-Boy or Doc Ock arc is over, you just do Gangland and then drop the other one. Drop one.
Drop it, man. Pick a Spider-Man book. You don't have to
Yeah, I
read
was
this
asking
at
the top
Sales
this
Run.
one.
No.
We don't need to do 2 Spider-Man topics a week, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, I was going to do Spider-Gwen as a topic this week, but I figure I'll spare you guys some Spider-Man for this week.
Yeah.
But anyway,
For real,
what
thank
what
you.
what I
I'm
won't
telling you, yo,
spare.
audience. I don't know if the audience even realize this. Practically every time we have one of these recording sessions, there's always a Spider-Man topic. I'm like, can we not for 5 minutes?
The most we had on a recording is 4 Spider-Man topics at one time.
For real, it's like I had to push back several books that I wanted to talk about because Cryptid wants to talk about Spider-Man.
Well, so we don't have to push anything back. Cryptid segue.
Yep. So while we're not going to be talking about Spider for a while, we'll be talking about Peacemaker.
Oh, thank God.
Do
Oh,
you
thank
really
God.
want to? Do you really want to taste it?
Wait, hang on. Do you know how broken Witch has to be? Where he says "Thank God" to Peacemaker. Never.
Oh, thank God. Because at least we don't talk about Peacemaker every week.
Oh,
It's a
at least.
breath of fresh air.
Hey, hey, at least you guys want to hear the story of how Peacemaker tries saving his newly adopted dog. You know, Bruce
Not really.
Wayne.
I want to eat these eggs though. I have some eggs
No.
right
Gotcha. All right, let me get on
Go
to
ahead.
this book. So, Peacemaker number 3. In case you guys want to recap, Peacemaker was supposed to be on an assignment from the brain to go pick up a DNA sample of Deathstroke. So, and the brain has his ape companion, quote unquote, tagging along with Peacemaker, only to find out that, the ape decides to backstab Peacemaker after they got the DNA sample, shoots him in the back with a machine gun, and gleefully says, "Yeah, we're taking the DNA sample, and also we're going to keep your dog." So, bye. Yep, loser.
Peacemaker better
Okay.
pull a Wick on his ass.
Yep. So anyway, we come up to Peacemaker number 3, right? And we are treated to a flashback of Peacemaker when he was a kid. He just gets back home after getting beaten up by a bunch of bullies. And, he tells his dad, yeah, they stole his bike. And his dad is saying, "Man up, kid." And Peacemaker's like, "They were full grown men who stole my bike." "Yeah, what's that got to do with anything?" And yeah, basically just shows how much of a dick his father is. So coming back to our present, though, this is right after Peacemaker gets shot by the monkey. And luckily, he was wearing a bulletproof vest underneath his shirt. But even with a bulletproof vest, man, that stings, man, getting shot by all those bullets. He uses what he could get from the women's bathroom to, cover up some of his wounds. Yes, there wasn't enough toilet paper, so he had to resort to using tampons to cover up some of his wounds. Hey,
Hey,
he was
tampons are very effective, okay? Tampons can be very effective.
especially when you need them to cover blood. So yeah,
I mean, that's what they're designed for. I mean,
there
I don't
you
know if
go.
that works better, but tampons can be useful.
Hey, you use what you
I
got.
in the future, use tape. Duct tape is actually very helpful.
Okay, well, if you could find duct tape,
put like the cotton on there first, and then put the duct tape.
well, if you can find duct tape in the women's bathroom, let me know. So, all right.
Oh, don't
So,
worry, I've seen some weird shit.
Yeah, but these
yeah.
little beads up.
So anyway, Peacemaker after that, he just goes up to the bar, just kind of sulks, giving his life story. He's just depressed. Nothing really is going on right in his life. Everybody doesn't seem to like him. Even a monkey kind of disses him. The one good thing that seemed to have happened to him was Bruce Wayne, the dog, someone who's actually happy to see him come home. But now he doesn't even have the dog. All Peacemaker wanted to do was give a little more peace to the world. But you know what? The world is all fucked up. And he starts crying about it. Hey, grown men can cry from time to time, damn it.
Nope.
Yep. And then that's when the demolition crew comes in. The demolition crew that Peacemaker, had to fight in order to get the DNA sample of Deathstroke from the last issue.
Yep.
The same demolition crew who Peacemaker used his fuck beam on. So
Nah,
yeah.
I heard the Deadpool.
Okay, so yeah, they come in and to look for Peacemaker, saying, "Peacemaker, yo, dude, what the hell? We were there as the maintenance crew, you idiot! We're not some supervillain team or some hired guns. We were just there to do some renovations in that spot. You jackass!"
For real.
Yeah, just because we have superpowers and some high-tech construction equipment in our appendages doesn't mean we're bad guys. Oh boy.
Don't discriminating.
We had 63 days of no worksite incidents until you showed up, man. So you know what? We're gonna beat the shit out of you. And this is just what Peacemaker needed. He actually beats the crap out of all of them, and now he starts to feel good about himself. So he feels good enough himself, just enough to say, you know what? Now that I could beat these losers, I could beat up an even bigger loser. I'm going to beat myself up a brain and his ape lover.
Well, there you go.
That's homophobic.
The character arc we know.
Yeah.
If you want
So
to
he
dad's
goes,
help, I'll just do the call.
yeah. I'm going to use the shrink beam to shrink that monkey's dick. How about that?
Oh, this is what we're talking about tonight?
Yep. Shrinking monkey's dick.
Can I
Hey,
be honest
Rich.
with you? Can I be honest with
Yeah.
you for real?
Yeah.
It could have been way worse. We could have been talking
Yeah.
about Spider-Man.
But anyway, so once Peacemaker goes back to, getting his stuff from his trailer, you are introduced to this one old guy who actually is a Peacemaker's handler. Well, a former superhero that Amanda Waller assigned to, keep tabs on Peacemaker since, he still is part of the Suicide Squad. The old man, he looks harmless. He has a hippie beard going on, and he ends up beating the crap out of Peacemaker, which amazes him. You come to find out that he actually is a former superhero from World War II, nonetheless. And his
Oh my God.
name, yep, his name is Red B. Yep, he was punching Nazis back in his heyday. And get this, he doesn't really have any powers. He's just good in combat.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Red B as in red bitch? Or do you say something else?
Red B as in BEE.
Oh.
Yeah, because apparently he does have one trained bee as a sidekick.
I thought you would call this man the red bitch.
Okay, too obvious of a joke. So that's his one companion, a bee. Hey, don't make fun of bee stings, guys. Don't underestimate those. Those sting like hell.
Well,
You know.
for all we know, the next time we see this man, he might have a whole swarm, like the villain swarm.
No.
Yeah. But anyway, after hearing Peacemaker's story, he suits up, and so now the two are going to team up to go save dog.
Wait. How does that work? Don't bees usually die after they sting someone?
Well, you make that sting count, Austin. All right. Like,
I'm not doubting it. I just think it's funny that he hasn't stuck anyone for this long.
well, that's a testament to the skill of this guy. So
I
he
think
didn't even.
someone. That's the difference.
Yeah, he doesn't need to resort to his bee needing to sting anybody because he could beat up people on his own. Yeah. But you know what? I hope that bee ends up stinging the brain because, hey, how fucked up would that be to get stung in the brain?
Or sting the gorilla's tiny dick.
There you go. Anyway, that's it for Peacemaker. We can move on to the next topic.
Okay. It's time for Sonic Prime, which is an okay show. It's
Okay.
very
No.
All right, now let's move on to the next topic. If it's an okay show, all right, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
You had your 10 seconds of
It's me.
fame.
This is why I don't review things. But yeah, so Sonic Prime, which is an okay show. For those who don't know, Sonic has had his first cartoon since Sonic Boom on Netflix. It's called Sonic Prime, of course, because it's the trend. Sonic will be facing the multiverse. Although it's a
Oh
very
God!
yeah, but it's kind of the worst way to do it for Sonic because while they say they're using the game more, it's
What?
true.
I think you know, Sonic has already had a history of doing multiverse stuff. It's just the first cartoon to do it. If you go by comics,
Oh
this
yeah,
is the first cartoon to do stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Like this,
the problem is
this
the
proof
problem
just
is
come out of nowhere. Sonic has done some of this before. That's all
oh
I'm
yeah,
saying.
but the reason why I'm saying it follows the trend is because it's the multiverse, but it has no setup. Invincible's going to be doing the multiverse, but Invincible had a season establishing itself, so I know what's different.
You know,
This show claims
even thing. That's
this,
adapting his own work.
yeah, it's true, but the producer claims this this Sonic show is canon to the games. If you know the games, this doesn't fit anywhere. So I don't know what this is. Um, for those who know the character of Rouge the Bat, he for some reason is one of Sonic's best friends, even though in the games they don't hang out at all. They just kind of show up every now and then. Um, so I'm already like, why is she here? Sonic is an idiot in this show. And which doesn't line up with even the meta version of him. I wouldn't call the meta version an idiot, just kind of lame. The villains, we
No,
have five different Eggmen here. It's also you got to remind me. It's Eggman split up into five. Is that what they said?
it's Eggman. Well, we don't know exactly. We just know there are 5 Eggmans. We're assuming Eggman's went into 5 because he's not in any other universe except for the main one they're in right now, which is New York City.
Yes.
Every other character has a version of himself besides Sonic. They are in every universe except for Eggman, Sonic, and Shadow.
Oh.
All 5 Eggmans, who should be one in each universe, is all in this first universe for some reason. But it's Dr. Babel, who is a baby, Dr. Don't, who is an angsty teenager, Dr. Deep, who is the college student who looks too deep in everything, basically. There's Mr. Dr. Eggman, who is the closest you can get to comic book Eggman, but he has a toupee on. And Dr. Don't. Oh, no, and Dr. Has done it or something like that, who's just old.
No. The reason I will say, I want to try to keep this concise. The reason I don't like this premise as the multiverse is these writers looked at a character sheet of Sonic's traits and picked traits that were never a problem with him before, except for maybe one game. And all of a sudden, it's like Sonic's kryptonite. Anyone who's a fan of Sonic knows that he is impulsive and he leaps before he looks, but that's because Sonic is competent enough to do that. He knows that if he makes a mistake, he can quickly correct it. He's pretty adaptable. So it's never really an issue in the games when he relies on this. In this show, it is like the reason that everything goes wrong in every episode, and every character calls him out on it. It's like it to the point it just gets frustrating. If you for fans of the series Ben 10 Omniverse, it's kind of like that where Ben's weakness is his ego. But at least in Omniverse, Ben gets better. Sonic, his 2 seasons in, is still the same impulsive idiot who's making these very broadly dumb decisions. And a lot of people will say that this has always been Sonic, and to those people, I say I don't think you actually know the character. Like I said, Sonic has had this streak of maturing over the years. But he's still, he has an attitude and he quips and everything. Well, he doesn't quip, but he has an attitude and everything. But he's not the type of guy to put his friends in danger over his decisions. So when I look at this Sonic, I'm like, this doesn't even fit in with the Sonic in the adventure era, the classic era, even the meta era, or even what they're doing with the character. And if it was its own show, I'd be okay with it, but it's not. It like again, it's trying to tie itself to canon, and it's just not working. And season 2 doesn't do much better. But you even get their version of Metal Sonic, who there's an argument online about it. I find him just kind of whatever. He's like annoying, but I don't really care.
I find it annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think that episode is a perfect example of why I just don't like this Sonic, because that version of Metal Sonic makes Sonic just look pathetic. Like even as a fighter. At this point, Sonic knows Shadow. So in the lore, at this point, Sonic is a more seasoned fighter. He should be. He's already fought people as fast as him before. When he fights Metal Sonic, or this version of Metal Sonic, he just looks kind of really dumb. Like Metal Sonic is like
Also,
eating him.
to be fair, this Metal Sonic is made from this energy. He's faster, stronger, and everything than Sonic.
Yeah.
But usually Sonic, when he's fighting someone faster, he uses his brains and his used to fighting, his battle savvy to overcome them. He kind of you just kind of watch him get clowned on for the whole episode, and that's not even just like a trend. I want to say it's a trend with the show, because even when he fought Shadow, he was getting the better of Shadow sometimes, but because he was being stupid in the fight, Shadow just kind of dominates and just kind of leaves him. And if the plot didn't say that Shadow couldn't do something, like Shadow would have probably this show would probably be over and Shadow would have won the day already and saved the world.
Yeah, it's I don't root for this Sonic. The only characters I root for, even I root for Nines, who is another version of Tails, and the only reason Nines works as a character is because he's actually based on Tails in one timeline. Unlike the other characters, who their multiversal counterparts are just like, oh, in this timeline, Knuckles is a pirate, has nothing to do with anything. In this timeline, Amy likes gardening, has nothing to do with anything. Like it's very dumb.
If you know
Like,
anything about Tails, Nines is the natural progression of if Sonic didn't save Tails as a child.
Yeah.
And everyone else is just go a trope or a characteristic we can just randomly give them for this world.
But yeah, I won't take too much of time. I'll just end it like this. Action wise, it's great, and I know a lot of people are excited because we don't get a lot of good Sonic content. We get a lot of we're trying lately. So I know that in the Sonic fan base, it's very important to just see the effort. Me personally, I kind of expect better from the character because seeing these games over the years, I know the potential this game franchise could have. And when it's not meeting it, I don't like giving it like half-assed, like, oh, well, this is okay. They'll do better next time. Because it's always been like this. Since like I was a teenager onward, Sonic has always been on this trajectory. So
And also we gotta stop saying when he says it's season 2, it's not season 2. It's literally just the next 8 episodes. Netflix has this trend of splitting one season into multiple seasons. So the first season of the show, if it was anime, say it like that, there'll just be 24 episodes, and all of them came out together. But Netflix are splitting the 24 into 3 sets of 8. So this was the second set of 8 episodes, and we have one more set before this story reaches some type of conclusion.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't recommend the show. If for your kids, if you're an adult and your kids watching this, sure, put it on. I don't really mind. But as a Sonic fan, this doesn't do anything for me. It's just kind of boring. And hopefully it has moments, really good moments, but the main character is just too annoying to watch. So I would. So
I disagree. Right. Watch it only for Shadow.
There you go. Go on YouTube.
I don't care if you're mad the whole episode. But if you're reading the comics and all that stuff, Shadow hasn't had any semblance of like being done correctly because Sega refused to do so. So it's probably the best version of Shadow you're probably gonna get for a while. Even though he's not like next to like the peak Shadow or anything, like the best of Shadow. It's probably the second best you're probably gonna get in a while. So if you're a Shadow fan, at least watch his clips on YouTube is all I'm saying.
There you go. All right, but yeah. Next up is Witch's Time.
Oh, hello. Let me turn on my iPad because it likes to turn off on me sometimes. Let's see. Ooh, Warlock Rebirth. I actually remembered to read it this time.
Number 4. This is the issue we've all been waiting for.
It was actually pretty good, but I thought I was reading the wrong comic for a second because of how it started.
Same here. Like this
I
was
was like,
it's
why is Spider-Man and Daredevil just chilling out?
uh,
Like, why
on. I
are
think
they here?
I think I think that's just
That's
the
what we do.
writer want. I think that's just what the writer wanted to do. Like you get a chance to have this
Get people to buy
conversation
this book.
between.
Just put
Yeah.
Spider-Man in anything.
Let me just state what happened in that part because it's only 2 pages, right? It's just Daredevil and Spider Man. They're both having lunch together, and they're actually on the topic of Wilson Fisk. Is Wilson is Wilson a Spider Man bad guy or Daredevil bad guy? And
Yes.
Daredevil's like, let me have this one, Spider Man. You have all the cool villains. After Kingpin, who do I have? Stilt Man? You know what? Fair
That
point.
that simply is why we're only calling him a Spider-Man villain. I don't think I'm not letting Daredevil steal for his rogue gallery because Spider-Man has to compete his rogue gallery with Batman.
Also, you gotta remember, there was they're chilling out by the Sanctum Sanctorum, and they see this glowing blast of purple light.
Yep. And it's
Um,
from your favorite troll, right, Witch?
I'm going to unalive you. If you ever see the Genus Vel is part of my favorite trio.
I said troll. Troll.
The longest
I would
running
take
Captain
the
Marvel.
troll any day over Genus Vel.
Yeah.
Hater.
But I still don't like either. Pip, you're on thin fucking ice. But don't worry about it. This is not about them. This is about Adam doing cool Adam things. And he gets transported back to Soul World. And he's like, my place of peace, the irony. But where is Eve Warlock? And she's like, here. And then punches the crap out of him. And he goes flying. And then she blasts him. And then she takes the staff. And then she's taking all of his life essence. And
This is
he gets hit again, and then he looks like he's just going through it. He just looks like he's rotting.
this whole issue is basically the fight between those two, and I kind of like Eve Warlock's comments during this fight. Like she's just berating Adam, saying, "I am the future, and the future is now. The future is me, Adam. I'm the Eve that doesn't need an Adam." And the guy in me is like saying, Adam, best of luck to you because we all know you two have to hook up at a certain point, but you're going to have to do all the work to woo her over, you know?
Yeah, but going back to it,
yeah.
Gamora and Pip pull up to where Adam was chilling out.
Yeah.
And, obviously, he's just going through it. Adam's going through it. But then Pip gives him a little pep talk, being like, yo.
Yeah.
Like, Pip and Gamora are like, yo, like, you made me weaker. You were weaker than Magus. You were weaker than Thanos, but you still found a way to triumph. And then, like, I remind you that Thanos killed me. And Pip's like, yeah, he killed me too. But I got better. So did you.
Shit. Yeah. Because keep this in mind. This series started with Eve taking the gem out of Adam Warlock's forehead, right? In this issue, yep. And in this issue, Adam comes in guns blazing with his power staff. Finally, they take on Eve, only for Eve to literally take his staff as well, and also take away his powers and leave him crucified on the planet. Like Adam,
yes, that was a penis reference.
Can I? I mean, he is Space Jesus for a reason. But anyway, going back, we see Eve flying through space as she does, and Adam just freaking he pulls a North Star and just be like, and they crash onto a moon. It's great. And then she's like looking away, and she's like, "Where are you, Adam Warlock?" And he's like, "Here," and punches her. And then he's like, "There's no reason for you to be my enemy. Be my ally. Join me." And she's like, "Yeah, okay, whatever. That of course is your answer." She's like, "I'm not your partner, successor," and blasts him, But don't worry, he gains the life energy back from the blast. And then he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna shoot it back at you, ayo." And then he grabs the spear, grabs the gem, puts it back on his forehead. But then he gets blasted by guess what? The High Evolutionary. Oh, and now they're
my
both
God.
knocked out. Both of the Warlocks are knocked out because of this red, silver mofo. He's not purple, but for the MCU crowd out there, he's red.
High Evolutionary is like, oh, well, Eve, you're a disappointment. Well, back to the drawing board. Tom. So, yeah.
It was good. I liked
Good
it.
fight. Everybody was waiting for that fight between Adam and Eve. But honestly, I don't know how Adam's ever gonna hook up with Eve. She's just so she sees Adam as such an inferior being to her, you know? Like I kind of find that interaction interesting, you know? Like how will these two hook up?
Please don't.
You know they have to. We need to get like there's an Adam and an Eve, and we need to see their children.
Doesn't mean we all want them to hook up, okay?
We need to see their children, which you know.
Anyways, shout out to Edith Draws who does the Adam Warlock x Thanos fan art. Shout out. They're on Tumblr. Because of course I'm on Tumblr. You will never find my Tumblr unless you do.
All right, but anyway, so I think we spoke enough about this. Let's move on to the next pick. Austin, you're up.
Austin stepped away. I didn't think Witch would actually be done with this topic this quickly. Crap.
There wasn't a lot in this issue.
Oh, god dang it. Like, this was going to be a big topic, actually. I mean, I read the issues, but I kind of want Austin here.
Well, Austin in the chat said that if he wasn't there when it stopped, you can skip it unless if you want to.
No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going, since we finished the Warlock pretty early, I'm going to talk about the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay. I mean, keep in mind, I also have one last topic as well. I need to get to you.
Yep. All right. Okay, Nightmare Before Christmas. In case the audience needs a recap, this is the prequel to the movie. This just shows the competition that led to the Pumpkin King being declared. You know, Oogie Boogie and Jack Skellington, they were both BFFs. But this competition clearly is going to be what divides these two. And oh yeah, it turns out Oogie Boogie was being groomed by the former Pumpkin King. So there's that. Anyway, Jack Skellington wins the first match. So now in comes the second match. The challenge is to build the tallest tower made of bones. Hey, you guys try building a tower of bones. It ain't easy, all right?
You don't like stacking cups?
Bones, man? Bones?
I'm just saying, a real Pumpkin King would do it, but that's just
okay, but anyway, both Oogie and Jack, they both get their choice of 3, companions. Jack, he picks the werewolf, the lagoon monster, and he picks his ghost dog, because who better knows how to work with bones than the ghost dog? At least that's Jack's logic. While Oogie Boogie, who was given directions from the Pumpkin King to specifically pick those 3 little hoodlums. I forgot their names. You know what I'm talking about. The kids, the witch, the demon kid, and the skeleton kid. Yeah, that cheerful trio.
I know them from Kingdom Hearts.
There you go. Yep. So, yeah, they commence with the competition. Jack is building his tower strong. It's strong and tall, like the Eiffel Tower. And Oogie is like telling the Pumpkin King, "Yo, Pumpkin King, why'd you have me choose little babies to be my teammates?" And the Pumpkin King's like, "Don't you?" Yeah, which?
Yeah, why the babies? We don't like babies.
This is the Pumpkin King's logic. Hey, they're toddlers. And what do toddlers do? What do toddlers do with blocks? Oh, beat them. There you go, Oogie Boogie. And yeah, in disguise, the Pumpkin King has been fetching more bones for Oogie Boogie's team to, build the tower, right? And during the competition, one of the bones from Jack's side ends up getting thrown to Boogie's side, and Boogie was like a little bit furious, like saying, "Yo, Jack, what are you doing? You trying to sabotage my competition, like my challenge, like you did the last one?" Jack's like saying, "Boogie, that was an accident. Come on, you know me." "Oh yeah, I know you. I guess your tower's just like you, all high and mighty." And Jack's like, "Okay, now that was uncalled for, man." So yeah, you do see the beautiful friendship between these two start to take a hit now. Eventually, Oogie Boogie wins this competition because the Pumpkin King apparently has the power to sway the direction of wind, and he uses it to blow Jack's tall tower to the ground, and Oogie wins.
Hmm.
So
Keep in mind, this
yeah,
has nothing to do with running a town, but okay. So,
hey, it's to be as scary as Pumpkin King, all right. Hey, what do you expect him to do, Jake? Come
I'd
on.
like scare people. I don't know. Uh, go ravage a neighboring city. I don't know.
Keep in mind, this is the Pumpkin King who actively wants Oogie Boogie to win this competition. So of course he's going to try picking challenges
No, I'm
that
saying
would
like
be
this.
in
I mean,
Oogie's
I'm
favor.
not Pumpkin King. I'm talking about like the Scare King or whatever. I don't know why we're doing these
Okay, okay.
stupid.
The last challenge is bound to be a scare challenge, all right? Hey, what's
And
scarier than working with bones? Those bones have to come from somebody. Like,
I got
no.
hmm.
All right.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for this comic. And yeah,
All
we
right.
can move on to the next.
All
Unless
right.
Austin, are you back, man? Come on, I really
He's
wanted to talk about this one.
he's not back.
He's
Dang,
he
dang it,
died.
man.
I
Dang it,
turned
man.
into a brick.
Rich is the only one here who's allowed to fail me. Not you.
Hey, I try my best. Okay,
You do a
I try
good. You do
my
a
best in
great
these
job, Witch.
trying times.
Yeah,
You do a great job, Witch.
you do a great job failing me, Witch.
Yeah,
So
at least I'm here. Unlike Austin.
Yeah, but I guess that means me, Jake, and a rare W reviews two things a week. So,
okay.
so,
Ah,
so anyway, today I'll be reviewing an old game that I recently finished called The Legend of Heroes: Trails in the Sky. Um, this is, from my understanding and research, the first game in an still going on saga of characters in a country of which I don't know the whole country's name, but in terms of skies, well, the continent's name. In terms of Trails in the Sky, this will take place in the country of Liberl. Uh, it's a place that's like on the cusp of discovering technology, but still kind of in this old fancy. It's like a mix of like a uh, an upper class, middle class, old fancy type setting with some technology. They're so new to technology they don't even know what a power saw is. Yeah, that's like a new thing. But their technology is enhanced by these things called orbaments, and orbaments give orbital technology is how they get a workaround around using oil and gas and all this stuff. There's even a funny bit where characters have to use a computer, which they just learned about what that is today, to learn what the hell oil is. So,
What? Okay.
so um, as for the premise, you play as Joshua and Estelle, main character being Estelle, two young bracers, and Joshua's adopted into Estelle's family. They're going on a cross-country tour to become a professional bracers. Bracers in this society being like a volunteer police force that since every city is run by military police for the most part, bracers serve to help people do the jobs that the military police won't do. So what from saving a cat up a tree to us killing monsters for people, all that other stuff. Bracers got you covered, essentially. Even performing plays for the orphanage. As you cross the country, you will slowly uncover a countrywide conspiracy that's taking place. That's only being enacted because your dad is missing. Your dad, the greatest hero of all time. what I do like about this game is first I like the dialogue. The characters are very well realized. Estelle is kind of like a female Naruto, like in terms of the first arc, the first part of Naruto,
Oh
where
wow.
she's very book smart. I'm not book smart. She's very street
Wait, what?
smart, but she's not book smart at all. Yes.
I was about to say, like, are we talking about the same character here, man?
Yeah. She's very street smart, but she's not book smart at all. She uses a staff, which is not like Naruto, but that's her main weapon. But she's very clumsy, but upbeat at all times, but very high spirited. And her adopted brother, which the game will nonstop bring up for a very dumb plot line, Joshua. He's kind of like your Sasuke, but a little nicer. Like he's not gonna be cold to
Oh
Estelle, but
man.
he's so. If you like Naruto X Sasuke shipping, well, this game's got you covered. So, Joshua, he's clearly a better bracer than Estelle, but there's no rivalry between them. He's very more focused, assassin oriented. He has a mysterious past that even Estelle doesn't know about, and it's coming back to haunt him, much like Sasuke. So, um, basically the two have a really fun dynamic, and I really like their chemistry until characters go out of their way to gaslight Estelle into thinking that she's in love with Joshua, which I still think is creepy.
Ah,
Yeah, but it's Japan, whatever. Combat wise, the game is pretty simple compared to later entries in the series. You have your standard turn-based combat, but you have a lot of orbament moves. uh Orbs are used as your magic. You can change the type of magics that each character has. You build a class around it. Some magic attacks early in the first game, there's not a lot of group attacks. A lot of your magic can only attack one person at a time. If you're lucky, you can get one that attacks large numbers of groups, but in this game, you won't have many of that, at least in my experience. Um, you take turns hitting each other, but you can use moves to take your enemies' turns, whether by speeding your characters up or slowing your enemies down. Um, this creates a very fun dynamic where you can get really creative with how you execute your turns. Uh, and later games will actually do this a lot better. In fact, Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel does this a lot better. It's a very fun game to play, even if the dialogue is nowhere near as good as Sky. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, it's a really simple story. And it has some really funny moments. There's a character who's like a duke. He's like supposed to be this like high class asshole, and so earlier he mistakes Estelle for like a maid or something. There's like a moment where he finds out that like Estelle was like tricked him and tricked him into thinking she was a maid when she was really this person who was out to get him. And he's like, "This is why the disgusting creature known as women can't be trusted."
Whoa,
Wow.
whoa,
Okay,
whoa.
okay. This just got deep.
So it was a very funny bit too, because the whole boss fight, he's just throwing soldiers at you because he can't fight at all. So you could just go in the back and just beat him up if you're quick enough. So um but like I said, it's very humorous and very charming. The dialogue is way better than what a later entry the Cold Steel series will be. I recommend this game, but if you're gonna get this game, make sure you get the sequel because is beating one game is not gonna be as fulfilling as beating the other. Falcom, at least for the Trail series, likes to do their games in two parts. So if you're getting like Cold Steel 1, you have to get Cold Steel 2. Trails of Sky 1, you have to get Trails of Sky 2 just to finish the story, basically. And I gotta say, I'm not gonna go into it, but for where I am now, Trails of the Sky 2 is really good. Again, if you like Naruto, you will get a lot of Naruto Shippuden vibes from Trails of the Sky 2. Um, I really
Yeah.
like it so far. So yeah, I highly recommend it. At least giving it a shot. It's probably Trails in the Sky is probably cheaper than Cold Steel, so just get 1 and 2. If you want to get 3, you can, but you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all in all, great game series. I think one more thing I want to say too is what I really love about this world is that the writers, kind of like One Piece, they really want you to get invested in this world. Um, they have every character, side character, has their own story that could be its own like mini series. I should say. Even down to in universe, there's a company called Stregas, and that's basically their equivalent of like Air Jordan shoes. Which Estelle is like a big fan of. She's like a big sneaker fan. So there's a side mission where you can get to where she gets to get these prototype Stregas, and she's just kind of fangirling about it. So it's really fun. That's another thing too. In Sky, the side missions are canon to the main story. So sometimes if you do a side mission before the main story, it gets brought up in the main story. There was one time I was going to a village to do a side mission. And then later when I went there again in the main story, the person was like, "Oh, I remember when you helped me doing that side mission earlier. Here, let me help you do this," something like that. So, it's pretty fun. So, like I said, I really respect Falcom. It's a low budget company, it seems like, but they really love their world. And I can say that that's a great thing about them. So I recommend giving the Trail series a shot. So there it is. There
you go.
Yeah.
Glad you got the shirt out of the audience, man.
Yeah. So
also, speaking of video games, I just bought Castlevania Requiem for the PS4, and I plan on pre-ordering the Castlevania Advanced Collection for my Switch, specifically the Soma Cruz cover, because I love Soma Cruz. Sorry, Richter Belmont stands. I love him too, but Soma is best boy.
Well, we have 10 extra minutes. If you want to do this without Austin, you can.
Yeah, I'll save it. All set. Talk about another book that came out this week. Spider-Gwen.
I'm gonna keep alive myself.
Wait, quickly plug in the socials. Don't let him win.
Okay, hello. I'm here to plug in some socials. Well, first of all, subscribe to us because I said so. And you can follow the Twitter at Comic Phanatics 69. Sometimes we post things on there. I just posted something today as of recording this, so yeah. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at Witch of Jotun, just one word with an E instead of a U. And you can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at witch_of_Jotunheim. That's with a U.
You know it.
If you want to find the others, no, don't do it. It's not worth it. Austin will crush you because he is a wall.
That's true.
I don't know what the other two will do, but I know that. But right now, I'm turning Austin back into a brick because he has gained too much power.
Yeah, so that's us. Hopefully, like, subscribe, share with your friends.
Share with your dog.
You know what? Yeah, show us your dog.
Share it with your pets.
Yes, all of them. Every last one.
Remember that random contact you have in your phone and you don't remember who it is? Yeah, send it to them too.
Yeah.
We have a pet shark with 4 legs. Hey, extra bonus for you guys too.
Also,
you are dealing with a murderous teddy bear. Send it to them too.
Also, I'm broke, so send me some money, right?
Same. I'm trying to save up for a car.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Austin.
Austin, you're late.
Yeah, but it's over because
we just finished.
Austin,
yeah,
Austin, because of you, we got to talk about Spider-Man book.
Wait, and the words of Sonic, looks like it's all over for you.